All right, everybody, welcome back. So I'm using my Omen Tarot method today to see how this retrograde hits your specific sign. We're diving into your weekly horoscope for February 23rd through March 1st, 2026. This is a massive week of new beginnings because Mercury is going retrograde in Pisces, and we have a chaotic Mars-Uranus square that's shaking things up. So today we're not just looking at the stars. We're using my Omen Tarot to see how these transits are actually going to play out for your love, career, and your finances. So stick around to find out if your sign is headed for a major glow up or if you need to set some serious boundaries. Okay, so during the week of February 23rd to March 1st, 2026, the astrological landscape is dominated by Mercury stationing retrograde in Pisces on Thursday, February 26th. You should be feeling this already. You definitely will. This shift begins a period of reflection, potential miscommunications, and the resurfacing of past connections or unresolved issues. Concurrently, a disruptive Mars-Uranus square. That's on the 27th. This introduces a surge of unpredictable energy. Okay, you can't predict Uranus. And this urges a balance between bold action and cautious adaptability. We're going to be using the Housewives Tarot as well for your bonus tarot readings. So you need to balance, all right, and be adaptable. These transits, they create a kind of push-pull between the need to slow down and a sudden urge for radical change, all right? Think about Year of the Horse and how that's going to handle. You know, you got to grab it by the reins, all right? Two of Swords. Remember, make sure that you remain balanced. So we're going to begin with Aries. All right, Aries, I'm going to give you the synopsis while I'm shuffling. So for your romance and enthusiasm, it's going to be enhanced early in the week. For your career, we've got high motivation and leadership may be expected on Monday. For your finances, a focus on stability may occur midweek, so you need to avoid impulse spending. Please be careful with that. And what's notable about this week is that past ideas or messages may return, and that's due to the Mercury retrograde. So reflect on long-term goals. And for your love, specifically, it's communication that's taking center stage. So focus on listening and small gestures of trust. The Mercury retrograde in your closure sector may bring back old patterns. So use this to release limiting beliefs. All right, let's see. Let go. For your career, a dynamic start. We've got the moon in Aries on February 23rd, boosting your leadership. However, professional pressure may spike. All right, you just could feel a bit amped up on February 27th. So again, avoid rushing those decisions. And a little bit more about your finances is you could have a rise in income, but it's going to be through multiple sources. All right. We've got high outlays. That is Shani Dev. And you need to focus on saving rather than that impulse saving. That is for sure. Another thing of note is that there's a healing Mercury-Venus conjunction on February 28th that helps you see people as they are now, not who they were in the past, which is good news. All right. All right, Aries. Again, this is Housewives Tarot. My mouse over here. Somebody's got a mouse in their house? Just kidding. All right, here we go. All right, so on Monday, we have the Page of Swords. Tuesday, we have the Chariot. Wednesday, we have the Fool. Thursday, we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Thursday, we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. Yeah. Saturday, we got the World in reverse. Sunday, the the Queen of Swords in reverse. All right, so clarifying, the Page of Swords in reverse is maybe not the news that you wanted to hear exactly, or there could be something of a message. It could be a communication. It could be a letter. It could be any kind of communication. It could be an email, text message. You know how that works by now. And the Page of Swords in reverse is want to be done with something. It wants to be done giving the communication. It wants to be done watching and waiting and kind of stalking. So what clarifies that is the Queen of Cups in reverse. Some of you could be having a relationship or some interaction with a woman who is just a nightmare. Okay, Queen of Cups in reverse is over emotional. She's going to cry all the time. She's going to manipulate. She's going to be very difficult. So the message, or the person that you may have to cut off, I mean, you may have to sever a friendship with somebody. On Tuesday with the Chariot, that's moving forward and helping you basically control a situation. It's literally like getting in the car and saying, everybody, let's go, because it's just time to leave, or it's time to go somewhere. And to clarify that, it is the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands in the upright is saying that on Tuesday you could just feel like you've had enough. It could be very much about the Page of Swords in reverse, that communication where you're cutting off this woman, or somehow there I think it's a woman that is, it could be an over emotional friend, and you're saying that that's enough. We need to move forward and away from this communication or this message. And on Wednesday, we have the Fool card upright. So there's a new beginning. You're starting something. You're taking a chance on something. Remember to watch that impulse spending. She's got a lot of little shiny objects. And what clarifies it is the Five of Pentacles. Again, the omens are clarifying themselves here, even though we haven't gotten into your object and omen specifically. But this is clarifying that you may not have enough money to do any kind of impulse spending, and you have been warned. Okay. So on Thursday, we've got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So something is frustrating you because it's not moving fast enough. And we've got the Devil in reverse that is clarifying it. Okay, so with the Devil in reverse, Seven of Pentacles in reverse, don't try to find a shortcut just because you're sick of waiting around. Because if you, the shortcut, whatever this is, maybe there's something financial going on. Seven of Pentacles in reverse, not enough money. The Fool with the Five of Pentacles. So, don't, for example, I don't even know if these exist anymore, but don't take out a payday loan trying to do something like I'm going to just throw something out there. You want to go buy a fancy pair of jeans and you don't really need them. You just want them. And you go take out some kind of a crazy loan to get that done. All right. And on Friday, we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. So Seven of Swords, again, this could be like trying to get away with something, but you don't get away with it. So don't do it. Don't take a shortcut. This is the card that would indicate in the upright kind of saving yourself. And maybe you're not going to save yourself. You could get yourself in trouble. It could be in a communication. Definitely with the communication, you could lose your temper with the Knight of Swords in reverse on Friday. Watch it. This is not the time to get into, when is it ever a good time to get into an argument with anybody over anything? Okay. I don't know. Some people like spirited debates. You could keep those. Sometimes we have discussions with people and we already know that it's going to be uncomfortable because they want to debate you because they don't believe in what you believe, or they want to debate you, or you want to debate them, vice versa. Any way you look at it, it's because you don't believe, you don't feel the same way about something. But the Knight of Swords, those are fighting words, and that's the Seven of Swords. So save yourself from this situation. On Saturday, we have the World in reverse. Somebody doesn't want to let something go. Somebody doesn't want to let a cycle complete here in some way. And we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. There's a male here that could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be, just like the Knight of Swords, doesn't have to be an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and it could be the Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Aries that is like pissed off for some reason. But the Knight of, the Knights are more like actions. Okay, so maybe you feel, I don't know why this is coming to mind, that damn it, you just really want a new lawnmower. And any of the situations above, it's like you're not letting a cycle close naturally. Let the lawnmower take its last breaths and then decide if you really need, maybe you just need a push mower because you really don't have much lawn. Okay. Different parts of the world, this is obviously going to resonate differently, but Knight of Pentacles is very slow. Something is interfering with a process, a situation that needs to come to its own closure naturally without interference. And then on Sunday, we have that Queen of Swords. And here's a little bit more edgy energy. The Queen of Swords, it's not that she's edgy, it's that she's cold. Okay, so that could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, somebody here that is going to use their words and isn't afraid to use them. Although, the Queen of Swords, like the King of Swords, lacks a bedside manner. It's nothing personal, but what clarifies that is the Emperor in reverse. That could be a challenge between a male and a female, so don't let the energy get away from you this week. All right, let me get where did I put them? I don't know where I put them. Oh, they're right in front of me. Of course, something's right in front of your face, Aries. Your omen is the eye. Someone from your past is thinking or asking about you. Be careful, because this could be what starts some of the fighting words, or somebody gets a little bit overzealous and goes on a shopping spree. And if you would like to look up your omen, they're going up as often as I can put them up. There are quite a few up there already. Go over to my Objects and Omens playlist where you'll see the Omen Tarot and you read your message associated, or not read it, you'll visualize it while I tell you what I find. All right. Okay, so moving along to Taurus. All right, Taurus, let's see what we've got for you. Let me shuffle this up. All right, so Taurus, this week, let's see, right off the top of my head, for love, emotional security could deepen. You could be shifting unexpectedly. You need to be flexible, more flexible than you usually are, Taurus. Don't be so stubborn, okay? For your career, there's professional visibility. You could become more popular. Your professional visibility may increase. So watch your P's and Q's. If you have an online platform, it doesn't mean that you, for example, can't be yourself, but, let's get a little bit more professional because you are visible. This is professional visibility. So we are who we are, but we have to be mindful when it comes to career, and we're being courted or we're doing the courting as it relates to career. We want to watch that. I don't know who that's for, but you need to know that. All right, for your finances, you need to review your network and financial collaborations. Again, some of you very well could have a platform, and maybe you don't care what anybody thinks. All right, well, then you go your own way. All right, and don't collaborate. All right, for your, let's see. Well, yeah. Okay. So I'm getting something here that's pretty specific. Somebody could work online. And if it isn't that you have a platform, your CV, your resume, people are going to look up your social media profiles. They're going to watch who you are. Okay. They're going to see who you are. And of course, people are going to judge you depending on basically what they see. All right. It isn't always what you look like. It isn't about having the most expensive tools around you. It's what you do with them. How professional are you? There's something here about professionalism. All right. For love, more specifically, for romance, you may have to travel, or somebody may have to travel to you. But we need to be mindful that Mercury is going to be in retrograde in your community zone on the 25th, and that's going to prompt you to reflect on which friendships truly serve you. Who do you want to go the distance with? What friendships serve you? Now, no one is an island, and you can't just lock yourself away in a little broom closet somewhere. You still have to interact with the world. As it relates to your career, a little deeper here, there's a new start. There's a fresh chapter in your career. That's why, I don't know, I feel like you must be very young. I'm getting something very young about somebody in particular here. There's a fresh chapter kind of energy, a new start. And so it's important, if you are young, to remember that, we can be whoever we want to be, but it is going to make a difference on how you are seen. And you never know. All right. It isn't about conforming. It's about being professional. There's an issue with professionalism here. You may have been told this before. Something more authentic, something that is more stable will be coming your way. That's what you're setting up for. And as it relates to, let's get more information on your finances, because we keep talking about the job. So your condition is looking strong. Okay, because Jupiter in retrograde is actually going to improve your overall income. All right, Jupiter in retrograde is not a bad thing. It kind of digs in deeper and expands some more. All right, so you want it in a good house. Of course, only you know your natal astrology, and you need to check your transiting astrology for that as well. But it's overall good. And also that Mars-Uranus square on the 27th is going to ask you to remain anchored in your values. Not hard for you to do when professional life feels unpredictable. There's a whole lot going on here about career and job and professionalism. Watch your words. It doesn't mean, look, I'm going to throw an F-bomb out there whenever it happens to me, but I'm also in a kind of unique situation where, well, we'll save that for another day. But it's a situation where you need to really watch your P's and Q's, dot your I's and cross your T's. All right, let's see what we've got here, Taurus. Do I have one too many? 6. Yeah, we do. We're going to keep it as a bonus because I did that. All right, let's see. We're going to set this up here. All right. For Monday, we have the Five of Pentacles. Definitely time to assess your budget. It doesn't mean that you don't have the money. It just means that you could have too many subscriptions to something, or you could actually, I'm getting that kind of energy from you. Taurus tends to do this here and there. They will cry poor. They're not poor. And we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. There could be some communication that either makes you feel uncomfortable or you're not getting as much as you expected. I could totally picture in the United States that maybe you thought you were going to get a better refund, or they hit you back and say, no, you owe for this or that. There's something about money here. Somebody's not going to get what they want. This could have to do with the sale of a property or sale of a vehicle, something big and tangible. There could be an argument. There could be a contractual dispute here, and there could be some fighting words. Again, watch it because it feels kind of like low down and dirty, like somebody, how do I put this? I don't want to say the words low class, but there could be somebody who's classless, just like isn't classy at all, who's got some words for you. I would let that go. Don't get involved in whatever it is. Tuesday, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, so you may not feel that you're at the top of your game, or you may be feeling like you've got a lull there, that you're at a low moment. And we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Again, some emphasis on something about the money, but I'm telling you, the money will work out okay. It could be something that you're doing with your mind, because we have the Sun card on Wednesday. Everything is just fine. Oh my gosh, I'm getting the Tarot of the Modern Witch. You could be a tarot reader, and the Everything is Fine card. Okay, so I've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So there could be a situation where a particular job or a particular run of something is over, and that's okay because you have moved beyond the apprentice stage and now you know enough. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm thrown off here by one too many cards. Maybe you got one too many of something and you need to cut that down so that you can mitigate whatever this, Three of Pentacles in reverse is. Okay, so we've got the Five of Wands and it's in the upright. So again, another 5. Things are changing for you. And with the Five of Wands, there could be some competition, but I think that you've got this. You are in good form. Just, remember that it is, I don't know, it could be very creative, and this is a creative competition. You may feel like you're just having to, or maybe you're thinking that you're batting 9,000. And we have the Justice in reverse. You may feel that the competition isn't fair, or that somehow you're not being treated fairly, or you could even feel that the universe isn't being fair to you. But remember, if there's a skill that you're lacking, research that skill and learn that skill. Somebody's going to be going back to school anyway. We've got the Judgment card. That's incredible. The Justice precedes the Judgment card here, and we've got somebody who could be watching their weight, maybe watching their weight too much. Somebody's eating too much protein. I always get that with this card, and otherwise everything is okay, because the Judgment is more like karma, the good karma, the bad karma, whatever way you see karma. That's Friday. I am getting I'm thrown off by this. Maybe you're thrown off by this, or maybe your scale is broken. And we have the Magician card here clarifying the Judgment card. So you need to understand that, sure, we all like to say about this card, as above, so below, kind of, sort of. But if you look into a more... let's think of this in terms of the vernacular. So the Magician is somebody that, feels like they could be a tricky dicky and kind of sell you a washing machine that they say they've only got like 5 hours on it. And this thing's, got a a few screws loose in it. You could identify probably with this where somebody sells you something that isn't as good as they said. Well, that's always what happens, right? You got to look under the hood. You got to get somebody to look at a car when you're buying that. You need to keep your wits about you that if you spend $50 on a washing machine, you're going to get a $50 washing machine, and nothing's guaranteed because you didn't buy it at the store. You didn't get a warranty with it, okay? But with the Judgment card, I feel with the Magician that whatever it is, it's kind of like the natural a consequence of a deal or something that could have it could have been an agreement from a long time ago. And the Magician really is only the manifestation of what's happening in the physical world. All right, for Saturday we have the moon in reverse. So here we still have, this is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana, boom, just all hit each other there at the time of the Mercury retrograde. And so it could be that with this Uranus, the Mars-Uranus square, that, you feel like some things are unfair, but it really is about balancing. Don't take anything happening that we feel is out of our control too personally, because it isn't. You're probably judging yourself more, because the moon in reverse is to me giving me the feeling that you feel like there's more going on. Well, probably not. It's just a lunation, or it's just Mercury retrograde. You might be a little bit paranoid at this time. What's clarifying it is the Queen of Cups. You got the Queen of Cups in reverse too. There could be an emotionally manipulative female. She could be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. She doesn't have to be. Or you are paranoid or focused too much on this Queen of Cups, who could be somebody that you may not even know. With the moon, there's distance. The moon is far away. You could be obsessed about somebody that you don't know. And I don't know what's triggering that. Let's see if we can figure it out. Maybe that's why we got the extra card. For Sunday, we've got the Hanged Man in reverse. So it's time to stop, letting yourself feel like a victim, letting anybody victimize you, feeling like you have to martyr yourself for anybody, or that they're martyring you. It doesn't have to be about martyrdom. Yes, it could be about seeing things a different way, but sometimes we get stuck there. So maybe you're stuck somewhere feeling like you keep analyzing something. There is no further analysis needed. And we have the 10 of Wands, because it has become too burdensome. You're causing yourself a burden somewhere here, Taurus, that is unnecessary. So don't do that to your beautiful self. And for the extra card to help us clarify all this major arcana that accidentally, this is about something that's over, a collaboration that's over, something that isn't happening. Oh, sorry. I said I was looking at the Three of Pentacles. I'm looking at the King of Pentacles because that's 3. This 3 of Pentacles in reverse is connected to the King of Pentacles in reverse. So there could have been an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, or somebody with some of those attributes, or somebody who just has a dog and smokes a pipe. I don't know. But the King of Pentacles could be somebody who's a business person, the finance person, a financier. This could be somebody who's the loan officer. This could be your landlord. This could be somebody who owns the house that you rent. Think about business and people that hold the purse strings or the money. And so you could be kind of irritated this week because something with the landlord, something with the person who owns your house or the property or the space. Like, picture if you've got a double wide on a property and this person decides to up your rent, and that's what's kind of causing this. Think energy like that. We'll clarify the King of Pentacles in reverse, which is clarifying the Queen of Cups in reverse and the moon. All right, we've got the Page of Wands. Definitely some kind of news, something, it could be that you just find out that your homeowner's insurance is going up, your rent is going up, but for everybody, it's going to be different. If you're a millionaire, your renter's insurance is inconsequential. You probably aren't worried about that or even have renter's insurance because you've got something else going on. Okay, but for the majority of you, there's going to be an issue that could be a little bit annoying. It doesn't seem like a big deal because we've already got better information that your finances are going to be fine. Just, this week is a little bit unsettling because of that Mars-Uranus square. So let's get your object or omen here, because we're using this method so that I can get a little bit more information for you. And again, look up that playlist there because I will be adding more daily. Let's see. Taurus, you got your own animal. You've got the bull. An impending fight with friends. Strength will be harbored in difficult situations. So you have the strength to get through whatever this is. This is incredible to me. This is incredible to me. All right, so you've got the strength to get through this, but remember that you need to not be the bull in the china shop and you need to not be so stubborn. Because Taurus, I'm not, because that's a strength that helps you, but it's not going to help you this week, all right? Moving quite along to Gemini. All right, Gemini, let's see what's going on with you. That's just too funny. I cannot believe how things happen sometimes, that you would get your own animal. That is funny, funny, funny. All right, so Gemini, we've got for love, a new connection or communication could be initiated. But remember, Mercury retrograde, it doesn't mean that you can't be dating or that love isn't possible or potential. It just means you have to take things a lot slower. Also means that this could be a person from your past. For your career, you need to reassess your professional direction. And for your finances, you need to find new methods for saving and keep that spending disciplined. That could be an issue. Let's see, what's notable for you? Social intelligence and networking abilities may be boosted. I don't want to look at this. I just want to take it. Well, I'm going to show you the chariots here. All right. Let's see. Let's dive deeper here. For love, you're going to need to clarify. They want to flip over for you. They want to speak to you. Somebody wants to speak to you. Somebody wants to clarify an emotional situation. So emotional situations, this is a good time to clarify them, especially if it relates to somebody from your past. So, maybe you want to use February 26th to have a conversation like this. For your career, what else would I? Okay, all right. So for the Mercury retrograde here, that's going to, excuse me, I almost couldn't say it, hit your professional sector on the 26th. So it's going to slow down your work in some way, or you could get fewer hours. All right. Make sure I don't get too many because for Taurus needed a little extra something. All right. So this could be a time for you to sit down and slow down and consider, what does success mean to you anyway? What are you working for? Does it matter if you're wearing the plastic badge of authority that says that you're the lead cook? Like, what does it matter? What matters to you? Why don't you define that? Because you needing to be more disciplined with your spending could be that maybe you are, at the dollar store too much and you don't know that you've got a leak, or you're at the thrift store too much and you don't know that you're buying shit you don't need. And, it's just a little bit too much. Something happened on February 11th. I don't know what happened to you or around February 11th. All right. And again, you need to revamp your ideas about authority, because this is the week where questions of authority and success, you need to rethink that. What does it matter if you're not the boss? Who wants to be the boss? It's a lot of extra work. I say let the young people go handle that. You want to be the manager of the McDonald's? You go for it, honey, because I'd rather flip the burger, okay? Ages and stages. All right, let's see what we've got for you, Gemini. So again, we've got the Chariot. So on Monday, there's movement forward. On Tuesday, we've got the Death card in reverse, not wanting to let something go. We've got the Seven of Swords that's in the reverse on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. On Friday, we have the Page of Cups in reverse. On Saturday, we have the Devil in reverse. And on Sunday, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. So for Monday, the Chariot, trying to move forward, trying to see how you navigate this. It seems like you're in good spirits. Everything's fine. Hanged Man in reverse. Don't get hung up on anything. I'm telling you, don't get stuck on your ideas of what it feels like. You could be feeling like somebody's hanging you out to dry, or that, and I don't mean to call it the plastic badge of authority, but when I was a kid, everybody's badges at different places were plastic. Okay, so that's when a plastic badge of insignificance. What does it matter? Sometimes you get paid more to do the jobs that don't carry the badge, because the person who's wearing the badge, you could be a cop, is the one doing all the hard, dangerous work. And if you think about how much they're making, you're making more than they are. It's kind of like what I tell people: be happy that you're completely broke, because you are going to, you got to look at it this way. You're wealthier than the next person with a mortgage and 2 cars and all this other bullshit and a bunch of credit cards, because they're in the red and you're not. All right. So with the Death card, clarifying that on Tuesday, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. I think this showed up. You could be dealing with an Aries, so there is a breaking away. There is a Maybe the energy was from Aries. It may not have been the same card. I'm getting this as somebody's having something to do with an Aries or a fire sign. Okay, so somebody needs to put the lid on it and close that shit up because it's no good. Something's not good. It's death. Don't keep that jar of mayonnaise with salmonella. That's exactly what's on the card. You need to let things go. So often when we break up anywhere near the Mercury retrograde, these people come back. If somebody comes back from the past that you had a falling out with, for example, don't re-engage. On Wednesday with the Seven of Swords in reverse, where you need to save yourself, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. You need to work on something. You need to work on your craft. You need to watch that money. Maybe there is a skill that you need that would help you move forward into a job situation where you're going to feel more productive, somewhere where you could use your skills better. Kind of like this, if you're transferring from being a cashier at McDonald's and you're like, what can I do with this skill? Well, maybe you need just a few skills to work as a cashier at a bank. Two completely different things, but you can talk your way into it. But with the Seven of Swords, there's an indication here that to save yourself, you need to get some more skills, or you need to change your skills, but you need to perfect them along the way. And it could be that you work in a job where something's repetitive, that kind of thing. Like you could be making plastic widgets. So on Thursday with the Ace of Cups in reverse, where you feel like, all of the emotions have been poured out, or you feel like you've been let down emotionally. Somebody could be struggling with their psychological health. If you feel this way, you need to get professional help. Don't rely on substances to try to make you feel better, because all the answers are not at the bottom of a glass. Neither are they at the bottom of a pill bottle. They're not there. The answers are within you, and I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice, but I am suggesting that you get professional advice so that you don't end up at the bottom of a glass or the bottom of a pill bottle. All right, we've got the Ten of Pentacles reversed because you feel let down by something financial, and this could be in many ways, but this is your stability. This is about your home. You feel like you're losing something. You feel like it's just not stable enough, but it seems somehow tied to the emotions and the psychology. On Friday with the Page of Cups and getting some news, some emotional news, we get the Ace of Swords. Some truth is coming in that may make you feel very uncomfortable. Somebody could be bringing you the fish in the cup, and the fish of the cup is actually a freaking sword in the cup. So the sword in the cup is just the truth, okay? So the Ace of Swords is the truth, and it may be coming to you in a little bit of a fishy way. Like you may have thought that somebody is going to come in to tell you some good news or some happy news or some sweet news, and at the bottom of that cup with the fish is actually some stinky truth. Okay, some truth may come out, something that you're not exactly happy about could be emerging here. For Saturday with the Devil in reverse and letting go toxicity, we've got the Ace of Wands in reverse. Maybe you need to let go of a relationship that's going nowhere. Maybe some of you may have had some sexual addictions. There's something going on with sexuality. It's either new beginnings, or somebody could be dealing with some issues of impotence or erectile dysfunction. Don't freak out. That happens to human beings. We are humans in meat suits, and not everything's going to work perfectly all the time. Ask somebody who's 85 years old whether everything is working perfectly. And I don't know how old you are. You could be 18, you could be 85 listening to this, but there's somebody needs to let go of some toxic idea or behavior as it relates to new beginnings or a relationship that's going nowhere, that there is no start. And it also could be about letting go, if you haven't already, of a relationship that is only based on the carnal and the physical. On Sunday, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, and clarifying the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is great to end the week. So Queen of Pentacles is somebody feeling very comfortable, very solid in their situation, feeling like I have enough to be able to take care of my family, my dog, my pets, and I got to go to work and go make that coin, and nobody has to worry about it being a big coin or a little coin, because the Queen of Pentacles attitude and energy, if it isn't about somebody being a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, or somebody's mother, or somebody's boss, or somebody's business owner, the main owner, somebody who's more in control of the money, for example. The Three of Wands with this indicates that there is more to look forward to. So let's get your omen here, Gemini. I keep putting them in the weirdest places. See, at 57, my brain wants to do things that, maybe I'm just saying too much, doing too much. Wow. And here, there's too much. All right, Gemini, what is your object or omen? All right, you should start to see these types of object and omen videos pop up on the right side of your screen. And you can look up the playlists on my channel so that you can get yours because I'm adding more and more every day. All right, you've got the octopus. That popped out in the weirdest way. Rita, remember that they're right in front of you. Something's right in front of you, sweetheart. Okay, for the octopus, you're getting octopus? Somebody's got the piss. Somebody's pissed. Maybe somebody's full of piss and vinegar and you're like saying, no, devil, I don't want that. Octopus, you're getting involved in too many things at once. Slow down. 3 of Wands. Remember, you can only handle, you've got 2 hands, you can only do so much. So slow down. Slow down. All right. Moving along to Cancer. All right. I'm not making a note of the timestamps because I found that it really didn't make much of a difference because I still had to go in and check the timestamps, and I'm a Virgo rising with stelliums, and that's going to happen. I'm going to overanalyze everything, everyone, all the time. I just don't dwell on it because I'm a Scorpio, okay? Let's see. And I transform everything. I'm talking to somebody. I've got a Cancer who's got a significant Scorpio placement or is dealing with a Scorpio. All right, so Cancer, as I shuffle these, a new beginning, but it's gentle. A gentle new beginning in love is possible. In romance. Is there love on your mind, Cancer? When is love not on Cancer's mind? Depends. For your finances, think about shared resources and again, more of that energy of an emotional renewal. So an emotional renewal, something about your finances, finding hope in that. Let's see. Also, what's notable here is that your sensitivity may be on overload. You could have sensitivity and self-trust issues that could be enhanced. For love, going a little bit deeper, you've got vibrant romantic energy, and that's possible this week. New connections are likely for the very single individuals. All right. Cancers tend to be very loyal people. All right. They're not your typical cheater people in general. Okay. All right. Let's see. 4, 5, 6. I can count, can I? Okay. All right. What else? For your career, of course, there's professional balance and self-awareness that you need to employ. Okay, because this energy will ask you to focus on ambitious goals. You may have very ambitious goals that you're already working on. Let's see, and that leads me into more finances. So for your shared resources, this emotional renewal has to do with any Aquarius placements that you might have. So you could be a Cancer with an Aquarius sun or Aquarius sun or a Cancer sun with an Aquarius rising, vice versa. You know, take it as you will for those of you that it applies to. You'd have to know your astrology. What's notable about this is that Jupiter in your sign brings good fortune. So great good fortune to you right away in this year of the horse. You should be doing very well, Tiger, especially if you're born in the Tiger year. Okay, so your strengths are it is the fact that you're sensitive. I know sometimes you can feel like you know that you're oversensitive. Yes, you are, but that's what makes you beautiful. All right. I am beautiful in every single way. Words can't bring me down. So don't you bring me down today. Somebody could be talking crap. Ignore them. Who cares? It's just work. It's just job. It's just a paycheck. Enjoy it. All right. Let's see. Let's go through this one day at a time. Cancer, I'm almost calling you an Aquarius. You most certainly have something going on with Aquarius here. I've been doing this since I was a kid. Thank you to my father who put me in front of Walter Mercado. You could be Puerto Rican or have Puerto Rican in you. Maybe you're Cuban. Maybe you're Afro-Caribbean. All right. Cancer. All right, on Monday we got the Death card in reverse, so let's just keep going, but I don't want to speak too soon. Tuesday we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Wednesday we have the King of Swords in reverse. Thursday we have the Queen of Swords in the upright. Holy crap. The Hermit on Friday in reverse. Saturday we have the Two of Wands. Very good. And Sunday we have the Queen of Wands. Lots of people here. Okay, we got some people finally. I like to see the people. Oh my gosh, this reminds me of something that my son and I do. You know, someone coming. You know, somebody watches South Park. We like people. Let them come, okay? We like people from all walks of life, okay? All right, so the Death card in reverse on Monday is clarified by the Five of Wands. So again, some competition. It could be some arguments. Be careful with that. Not everything is worth fighting for. We've got on Tuesday the Ace of Wands in reverse, so a non-starter, something that doesn't go anywhere. Watch that sexual energy. It is not necessary to over-focus on that. You know what I'm talking about. If that applies to you with the Emperor in reverse, there could be an argument here with an Emperor. This could be your father, a father figure. You know, this Emperor always cracks me up because this Emperor totally looks like a fake Emperor that pulls some stuff out of his kitchen and made an Emperor suit. All right. On Wednesday, we have the King of Swords that is in reverse, clarified by the Page of Cups. You know, this argument could lead into an apology by somebody, but, you know, we really want to watch that. It's harder and harder to accept an apology from somebody who keeps doing the same thing over and over. At that point, you really don't even want an apology. Or like with the King of Swords with that giant sword that's covered in the shish kebab. It's like, yeah, so here we are at a family get together, or somebody could be having a family event and you did this to me, or you embarrassed me with words, okay? Because I was singing Words Can't Bring Me Down. Okay, so somebody's name could be Christina, somebody's last name could be Aguilera. Okay, but we've got a situation here where somebody might try to apologize to you and you're like, that's a weak ass sauce, okay? I don't want it. On Thursday, we got the Queen of Swords in the upright, and we've got the King of Cups. Somebody's going to either try to manipulate you to accept an apology or to see things their way. They're going to, you know, you could have somebody blowing up at you, that, you know, but it seems like a family squabble because that's the Five of Wands. If it isn't a family squabble, it's like among friends, you know, like if it's in a relationship, maybe you're like you've been married really a long time to somebody and somebody's cranky or has a hemorrhoid. That's what it feels like to me. Somebody could have hemorrhoids. Watch that. If it's not you, I don't think it's you. You're the one that has to watch the stomach issues. All right. So we've got the Hermit in reverse. Hermit in reverse on Friday with the Page of Wands. So, you know, you're like, I'm not going to like lock myself in my room and not come out and talk to you, or, you know, hide in the garage and let the world make me feel like I'm going to lock myself away to do hermit mode if I really don't feel like I need hermit mode, because this is a weekly reading. And with the Page of Wands, you get some communication of something fun to do. Somebody says, hey, let's go ride the hobby horses. All right, so on Saturday, we have the Two of Wands where you have to make a decision about something, but you're not very maybe motivated about either of the two decisions, but you do have to make a decision because we have the Tower, but this Tower is that Uranus energy that I'm talking about, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable. It actually feels like a relief. Maybe somebody's trying to get you to eat their disgusting Jell-O with all kinds of bullshit suspended in it, and I hope it's not carrots. And on Sunday, we've got the Queen of Wands in the upright, somebody very beautiful, somebody very creative, somebody very fun. And we've got the Queen of Cups. You may have to make a decision about two women, or two women could be pulling at you. Definitely women, you know, like, let's not go too far into the genders. You guys are going to have to like assign them wherever you're gonna, because there's too many flavors and colors and everybody's a freaking unicorn, okay? Like, good for you. We're all happy that we're all unicorns. Let me be a unicorn too. Okay, so here you may have to do something about two women. Maybe this is where this squabbling energy is coming from. All right, let's see. I don't know. What's with these people? It's like family members. What's with the family members? I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Neither do you. All right, let's see. What is your object or omen for the Omen Tarot? If somebody's got an injury to... Somebody needs to watch an injury to the kneecap. They're telling me very specifically. Kneecap. Okay, kneecap. All right. Okay. We're into the prototypes. There we go. We've got straight line. Be patient. You're on your way to having what you want. So despite whatever it is that could be happening this week for you, beautiful Cancer, people that I love very much, you're so emotional. I understand you better the older I get. Just be patient because everything that you want is literally on the way. All right, so moving on to Leo. And again, you know, make sure to check out your objects and omens. They're in a playlist, and you will be seeing more of those every day. All right, Leo, I'm going to take off like here. It's getting hot in here. Taking off all my clothes. Okay, so all right. Somebody's got that fire going. All right, let's see. You're hot. Okay, Leo, you guys are always hot. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know. You guys are hot. I mean, like, you guys are hot. Leo is hot. I can't... What do you want me to say? You're hot. Okay. Let's see. Somebody likes delight. That came up the other day. All right, excellent dance music. Somebody likes dancing. Leo, do you dance? Don't let anybody ever stop you from dancing. Dance, because that's how we move energy out of the body. Ancient Chinese proverb, okay, that I'm just going to make up right now. Dance and the enemy will flee. Oh, Leo, I love you, okay? Leo. All right, as it relates to love this week, because you're lovely. You're hot, Leo. I don't know. There's something about you that's just so hot. There's something so hot about Leos. Leo is hot. Do I need to tell you that again, Leo? Are you feeling insecure? Let me help you feel better, baby. You feel better. Trust me. Okay, so Leo, for love, this week may be a powerful week for you for emotional honesty and revisiting trust issues. What I say. For your career, you've got magnetic confidence that may place you in the spotlight this week. So midweek especially, that's what I'm saying. Get your confidence up. I'm telling you that you're hot. You need to believe me. All right. Believe it, baby. I've known some Leos. Okay. Well, one Leo in particular, I can't get off my mind ever. Never mind. Okay, this was from a very long time ago. And never mind. Okay. I do have that person off my mind. It's just I bring up that person once in a while because it was just hilarious. The whole situation was hilarious. Maybe it was horrible, like, I don't know. It was hilarious. All right, Leo, something significant about you, okay? So you need to have that confidence up because there's going to be something that puts you in the spotlight, and don't be afraid. You are not alone. All right, so finances. So focus on your professional growth. Yeah, you're going to be put in the spotlight because this will give you more personal freedom. So if there's a hobby that you'd like to turn into a passion, if you've got a passion project that you're like, yeah, but I've got all this professional stuff. I got to go, clock in, clock out. I got to do all this stuff, and I work at Marshall's. That somebody works at Marshall's, or somebody's name is Marshall. That's okay because you need to make at least 15, 20 minutes, or give yourself half an hour to work on your passion project. Don't put it away. Yeah, because you want more freedom, but you have to keep that thing going. So what's notable about this week for you? Because you need to balance your emotions. There could be something that's, I don't know, this astrology shifting into the new year, the lunar new year, right on the heels of an eclipse, everything just right out of the gate. All right, little lion. So something significant about love here is, those sincerity and trust issues that are highlighted, especially on, let's see, today's the 21st, so you'll see it on the 22nd, or you'll see this on the 21st or the 22nd. What day is this? Well, you'll probably see this on the 22nd, and that's when you should be feeling it. Remember that Mercury retrogrades on the 26th, and it's going to encourage you to revisit that intimacy, that insecurity potential with intimacy. What are you worried about? Is some kind of weird body issue with you, Leo? I'm getting a body issue. What the hell? Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something crazy, but I have to put it exactly this way because it actually came up with a person that was a client of mine, okay? She was very body conscious, self-conscious, and didn't like the way that she looked in her meat suit. And I told her that I was positive that all her husband really wanted was to see her butt ass naked. And, keep the lights down low, do whatever you got to do. Nobody looks really amazing naked. I mean, like, naked is naked. All right, especially if you have a few children or if you've had a few beers, whatever, if you're on the other side of 40, you notice even on the other side of 30, things are changing a little bit. Who cares? It's a meat suit. I don't know. Does somebody's husband wants to just see you naked and they just want to touch you? You know what I mean? Husband or wife, I don't care. Work on that. Work on that. That's for somebody specific. Somebody will understand what I'm saying there, okay? Yeah, it's confidence. See, and this is the thing that you're not thinking of, is that you're the same confidence, the same insecurities that you have, you don't see that everybody sees you. What did I start off? Like I started off by saying over and over, you're hot, you're hot, you're hot. You could show up, stand in front of me and be 70 years old and you're a Leo. I know why you're hot. A 7-year-old Leo is hot. An 80-year-old Leo has his old ways about him. but still hot. All right? Power to the freaking Leo, man. You guys are everything. Why do you think everybody looks at you? Because everybody wants to be a Leo. Every man wants to be a Leo. That's their secret thing. They don't tell you. Every man wants to be a Leo. Really. I mean, like if they spoke to me, I'd explain it to them why they want to be a Leo. You wish you were born a Leo. Okay, what's going on with you? Okay, so you got to get over this confidence thing because this is what's going to help you. Okay, so some financial issues may start to clear up now. Maybe you just finished paying off a particular debt. What's notable here is that your luck is going to peak on about February 28th because the Mercury retrograde is going to conjunct with Venus there and will help with transformation. It'll help you feel better about yourself too. Please don't think you're not hot or like whatever. Please don't do that because right now I'm telling you, I don't even freaking know you and I know you're hot. Male or female, hot, 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 hot. All right. Let's see. Leo. You're hot. I don't know why I got to keep telling you that you're freaking hot. You're amazing. All right, Leo, for Monday, 2 of Wands in reverse. Tuesday, Strength card, totally Leo. Wednesday, we've got the 9 of Wands in reverse. Thursday, 3 of lots of fire energy, Wands in reverse. Queen of Wands upright. On Friday, Saturday, we have the Empress, beautiful. And on Sunday, we have the Fool in reverse. So on Monday with the 2 of Wands in reverse, you may be feeling like you have made a choice or you're making a choice. You're like, shit, I don't like either of these choices, but I am going to make one. And you do. And that way you end your not ambivalence, the difficulty that you're having closing a cycle and moving on from it. You will know how to close that cycle. I see you doing that. Tuesday with the Strength card is excellent because with the 9 of Swords, you will have the strength to get through whatever anxiety it is that you're dealing with. You are dealing with some weird anxiety, and I want you to stop that. I am telling you that I understand that and I accept your point of view, whatever that is. But if it's about your physicality and the way you look, I'm telling you, I don't care what you think you look like. You are hot because you're a Leo, especially if you're Leo rising, any significant Leo placement. Hot, hot, hot. Okay. 9 of Wands in reverse for Wednesday. So feeling like you can drop your guard. You can start to feel a bit of relief there with the 8 of Swords in reverse. So yes, I see you doing better by about Wednesday. You're going to be freeing yourself from this weird prison in your mind. And we have the 3 of Wands in reverse on Thursday with the Page of Wands. So 3 of Wands in reverse, make sure that you're not moving too quickly through something that you're not prematurely discarding some stability because you're trying to get through something too quick, because even the Page of Wands is very excited news. You could get some news that causes you to think that you can cut a corner here, cut a corner there, and that somehow that's going to, you can make a mistake in the process, especially as it relates to, some actions. It could be, I don't know. I see somebody trying to, I'm going to have to say it. Somebody's like been putting off fixing a really large dog house. I don't know. This is like a summer cottage dog house. This is something that is for the dog in the summer. Okay. So don't cut corners, work on it. If you don't have time to work on it, then don't work on it because there's something significant about that because I don't see you leaving your dog outside. Like the dog's not in the elements, but it's something that I don't know what that is, but if you know what that is, you can go ahead and let me know. On Friday, we have the Queen of Wands upright, very excited energy, very energetic with the Queen of Pentacles. So you may be dealing with 2 women that are completely different. You may identify as one of those. The Queen of Wands is the fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And we have the Queen of Pentacles, that's an earth sign. It looks like you could be in a same-sex relationship, a female, and I'm not really getting that. It looks like a very close friendship or collaboration. You've got a business with one or your housemates with one. But these 2 women are kindly disposed toward you. I don't see any issues. It looks like everybody's working together. On Saturday, we have the Empress in the upright, and what clarifies look, you got the Death card on one end on Monday, and by Saturday, you've got the World card, successfully closing a cycle, ending a chapter, paying off that debt, moving on from whatever it is. And on Sunday, with the Fool in reverse, you're like, I'm not spending a bunch of money. I'm not wasting money anymore. I'm not door dashing a bunch of things I don't need. I'm going to teach myself how to cook food if I don't know how. I'm going to get back into eating healthier, taking care of my body, my physicality, so that my meat suit lasts as long as possible. And we have the 4 of Pentacles holding your position. keeping track of where that money is going, because you want to save up your money to have a little bit of money under your butt, but at the same time you could be saving for something and you need to put it away, not lend it, not you can't get into that, or maybe there's something that you really need to do for yourself and your physicality that matters to you, like maybe you need to get some dental work, maybe you need to get a new pair of eyeglasses, something that you need to save up for. And it's so easy to go to McDonald's. I keep talking about McDonald's today, so I don't know why, because I don't really often eat at McDonald's, so I don't know what this is about. But I think you're going to cut out some of that fast food, whatever. It seems like the fast food preservatives are not good for you. And I'm going to take the dog leash because 2 popped out. I didn't look at the other. So easily led like a dog. Sit, stay, shut up, take a shit. Dog house. Somebody's working on a doghouse or needs to work on a doghouse. I don't know. Are you in the doghouse? It seems like maybe you'll be improving your doghouse if you are. A pension check or benefits are significant here. Okay, so Leo, you need to remember that you don't need to be led like a dog, okay? Maybe these 2 women are housemates or women very close to you. Look at your mother's over here with the Empress, and she's like saying, here, have a pink cake, or trying to cook you something, trying to make you a nice meal, and there's all these other women in the way. You don't need that. You know what you're doing. Talk to your mommy when you talk to your mommy, but you don't need a bunch of people telling you what to do. All right, to Virgo. Where are we at? I'm about an hour in. Okay, Virgo. All right, Virgo, so for you, this is a week that I want you to reconsider your expectations in relationships. I know that's crazy to say to you, but remember, don't be mad at me because I'm a Virgo rising. All right. I'm an extreme Virgo rising. Yes, it's made my life difficult, but it's perfected it in so many ways. All right. For your career, there's professional communication. Okay, so career advancement may be supported midweek. You could be getting news of a new job or a job if you've been looking for a job, because your finances are also highlighted by expecting a financial focus early in the week. So you may need to plan for something because you got to pay for something. And so that news midweek will be welcome to you. All right, what's notable is that you need to remain organized, and your routines and physical well-being are key themes. So you need to work on, getting back in shape or getting ready to shed, the Gucci, from the winter months of not moving a whole lot. Maybe you live in a place where it hasn't been possible to move a whole lot, but just getting organized again. What is organization if you don't have a Virgo involved? Virgo knows where every object they own is. Okay, I'm not talking about like short-term memory when I don't know where the cards are. Okay. And again, with the love relationship focus, the Mercury retrograde is in your partnership zone. Okay, so your 7th house, especially for Virgo rising, that would be Pisces. And so that's going to be oh gosh, Virgo, I don't want to say it to you, but I have to. Okay, it's going to be like maybe a reconsideration of agreements in the past or arrangements in the past or relationships, people from the past, that kind of thing. Let's jump off of that one because I know you don't want to hear that. I don't know too many Virgos that want to hear anything about their exes ever again. Because see, the thing with Virgos, when you're done, you're just done. People may think that they've got all the time in the world while you keep forgiving them, but they don't know that the whole time that you are planning the end of the relationship or, setting up a whole new life plan while you're watching everything you don't like happen. And Virgo is not slow about this. They're just very, very skilled at planning how they'll do this, because you can make a decision about a relationship in about 15 seconds. All right. You already know when it's going to go down before you're even on. All right. So balanced advancement. Okay, so stay balanced as it relates to your practical efforts as it, at work, or in whatever it is that you're doing. February, there's something going on February 26th that supports communication, something about communication. You could be getting communication right on the 26th, and it has to do with work and career, because also you've got a trigger on the 23rd about the focus on money and planning for whatever you need to pay for, whatever you need to do. Maybe you're just saving up to repair a car or to repair a house. There's something there that's significant, though, about news that comes in quickly and you implementing the plan that you already have. It seems like you've been formulating a plan. So what's notable? Let's see, what else? What can I think of? All right. That Mercury-Venus conjunction, because Mercury is your ruler. on the 28th, you know, if you felt any resentment toward anybody or, that kind of thing, it will give you room to forgive. I'm not saying you haven't forgiven because, Virgo's the virgin, Virgo is the master at forgiveness and quickly apologizing and trying to make wrongs right. That's Virgo is going to communicate in a very genuine way. So I think that you can lend somebody a little bit more understanding. Doesn't mean you have to take anybody from the past back. 3, 6, 7. Okay. Let's see what's going on this week with the Tarot. The Housewives Tarot is hilarious to me. I use different decks depending on how I'm feeling. Something about Wendy Williams. How you doing? Poor Wendy. All right, she knew too much, didn't she? All right, so on Monday, we have the Four of Pentacles. So there we are immediately out of the gate, holding on to that money, making sure that you're budgeting, keeping it safe, keeping it secret. All right, we've got the Magician. So there you are, pulling out all the stops and making sure that you are balancing the finances, maybe literally pulling money out of thin air. Tuesday, we have the Page of Cups. So here is where we could see somebody with an apology. It's kind of like, look at me, I'm just a little boy and I'm watering your flowers for you. Do you forgive? And you're like, I already forgave you. You can stop now. All right, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody wants to have some kind of a new beginning, plant a new seed with you. It has to do with that Page of Cups. It's, clarifying it. So it could be that somebody wants a new beginning with you. And you're like, that's good. That's enough. Because the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is saying, no, we will not grow anything here. On Wednesday, we have the Three of Wands. And again, this is like where you got to drop something because you can't do it all. But be careful what you drop because you're stable enough and what you need is right ahead of you. So you might need that little extra push to get through the hump to make it through because you're almost there. It's right in front of your face kind of energy. And we have the Seven of Pentacles, absolutely clarifying the Three of Wands. Seven of Pentacles says that you can keep putting in that work because you're almost there. You're almost there. You're almost there. The opportunity is there. Everything is there. You're ready. It's ripe. It's time. Now it's just like, when? I don't know. Which day? Who knows? But any day now. All right. Thursday, we've got the Seven of Swords. So be careful of people trying to talk shit, maybe backstab you. It could be this, this little trio of opossums. I don't know what these people are doing, but they have swords. And yeah, and you have clarifying that Seven of Swords. I don't think you care what anybody says or thinks about you because you've already moved on with the Six of Swords. You're like, bye-bye. 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 Okay, so maybe you're getting on another plane, you're doing something else, going somewhere else, having to communicate something else. Maybe some of you have to work and do that where you jump on a plane, jump on a plane, jump on a plane, and you're like, I really don't care what you think because I don't have time for this. And we have on Friday the Fool in reverse. Now, what's clarifying the Fool in reverse? The Tower in reverse. So, there could have been this potential that you start something new, so be very careful with that. You could be trying to start something or feeling like you're so rushed that you want to start something, or maybe you look back at what somebody else is doing or what somebody else said, and maybe somebody with that Page of Cups and brings the apology and says, I know, I didn't know what I was doing, but look, I want to let you know, so-and-so said this, and you're like, huh? No. Don't do that because you avoided a tower. You dodged bullets with whatever situation this was, with people talking about you where you were too busy, maybe had one too many implement in your hands, and you were doing all the work. So just say no to people talking about the past, and look, if the past is unavoidable and it comes up and tries to talk to your damn face, like, okay, all right, but don't entertain it because I see you already saying no. We have the Five of Swords in reverse. So Five of Swords, you're done with the Seven of Swords type of activity where you're like, I had to pull my own swords out of my back. I had to take myself out of a situation because somebody could have been actually stealing. That could be anything from, some small property. Maybe somebody was in your house and stole something from you, or this could be intellectual property, like an intellectual theft, your pictures, manipulating something. The Five of Swords is very nasty energy. You're like, yeah, no, bitch. And then to clarify that, we've got the Queen of Swords. You're like, I'm the queen. I know the truth. You can't mess with me. I'm not talking to you. The Queen of Swords actually really, if you look at the card, she's really not planning on saying anything. She's summoning someone else to come toward her to say something because she's about to lop that head right off. All right. And on Sunday, we have the Sun in reverse, clarified by the Six of Pentacles. Do you see what that means? Six of Pentacles, somebody trying to come back, balance it out, make it better. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say it again. And you're like, no, bitch, I'm happy. Okay, so somebody talks like that, or you're like me and you speak that way. Let's get your omen or object or omen. All right, let's see. Wow, okay. All right. Ooh, I like that. We have the wishbone. When you see this in the teacup, make a wish. Okay, so this has to do with the teacup that I have. I want you to make a wish right now. We are going to make time for you to make a wish. Okay, go. Your wish is granted. If it's in alignment with you, and I know you'd never ask for something that is not in alignment with you. So make a wish, Virgo, because your wishes are coming true. Let the past fall away with the Mercury retrograde. It could try to rear its head to come up to try to balance itself out, and you're like, no, bitch. Okay? All right, moving on to Libra. Lovely Libras. I love Libras. I have a Libra sun. Very shiny. Very sparkly. He's so gorgeous. And if he asks me if he knows it, I'm going to say yes. Okay, all right. So Libra, what's coming up for you? Okay, so relationship balance may be restored. You know, you need to be gentle and have honest conversations. I will say that there is a necessary transformation in love that may be forced. I don't know if you're forcing it. I don't know if it's being forced upon you. For your career, we may take all that energy and turn it toward career matters and your professional decisions by the weekend. You know, maybe whatever this is, maybe you're the one saying, I've had enough of you. Okay. You may be the one forcing it onto somebody else and saying, I have had enough. Now, just remember that if you do this too close to the Mercury retrograde, you're going to have some fortitude because these things tend to kind of pop back up. Pop-ups are significant. Do you have a pop-up shops? Pop-ups are significant. Papa, don't preach. I'm in trouble deep. Okay, is Papa preaching? All right, for your finances, stability may be found early on, but you need to be aware that there could be some very expensive surprises this week, Libra. I don't know if that, we'll see if it shows up here, but, you know, the astrology says that something expensive could happen, okay? Like where, you know, it's a surprise. You could have like, I don't know, I'm getting the feeling like an appliance goes down or there's an issue with the vehicle because that would be very typical of Mercury retrograde, but it is notable. Your creativity and your judgment may be enhanced. So this is aiding in your creative problem solving. Very good, Libra. That's how it needs to be done. All right, because let's see, let's think about the balance being restored. Yeah, the communication, because relationships are going to be a primary theme all week while your energy is shifting toward professional decisions. Okay, so it's your career sector that's lit up on February 28th, isn't it? So let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I do that right or can I not count? Let's see, I know I can usually count. Let's see. Somebody is using the drops for something having to do with the retina and the eye. Your name could be Retina. Your name could be Rita, Retina. Anyway, these drops, I don't know, macular degeneration is significant or somebody in your family has macular degeneration. And I'm very sorry about that. I know that that's difficult, but there's something about the drops that somebody's putting in their eyes is actually causing some other issues with the tissues around the eye. Somebody's having some issues with their eyes, so make sure that you're, communicate very clearly with your ophthalmologist, or if this is a loved one, a parent or something. We did get Papa energy here, so somebody is older. Just make sure that this is being handled because it seems like it's going to be like it can get out of control. And I'm not talking like conjunctivitis, that this could be a bit deeper. There could be some issues with the tear ducts. I don't know where that comes from, but there you go. Please be careful with that. Okay. Financial stability is going to be enhanced early in the week. You need to slow down and listen to your body and allow space for emotional expression. It doesn't have to be an argument, okay? A decision must needs be made. Okay, so let's see. Let's interpret this for you. I hope that everybody is okay, Libra. Just watch whatever it is with your eyes. I wouldn't be having elective surgery during a Mercury retrograde unless it were absolutely Look, I wouldn't do it. Okay, I've had multiple surgeries on my eyes before, and yeah, it's your vision. All right, let's see. Your vision, Univision. Somebody watches Univision. Somebody's Hispanic. All right, buenos días, buenas noches. ¿Y cómo están todos? Te está tomando un coquito. Okay, so here we go. We've got the night. I came out of nowhere. All right, Knight of Swords in reverse. Watch out, because somebody could have those fighting, cutting words, and here could be the action that you are taking or somebody's taking toward you to do something here with this relationship that seems to be necessary and forced. We have the Six of Pentacles. This has something to do with someone. Oh, you could be in a business relationship there. Yeah, there's something devilish right here. Look at that. The ghosts from the past are present here in this. There is somebody from your past that's bothering you or on your mind or on their mind, on somebody's mind. There are two ghosts here. Isn't that interesting on the Six of Pentacles? And that's a very selfish little devil that's got all the cookies, and then you got the two little ghosts there, kind of like on Halloween, that don't have any cookies. Okay, so somebody needs to share the cookies. Cookita. Okay, so we got the Three of Cups in reverse. So there's something about a relationship definitely here. A dynamic is changing. So communicate. Communication needs to be gentle. Communication needs to be fair. If some situation is being forced upon you, accept it with grace and dignity. And if you are doing the forcing upon somebody else, be graceful and dignified about this. Do not hurt people. Queen of Swords in reverse. So we got some lying bitch here. Okay, it doesn't have to be you. This could be somebody else. And I'm saying that because this is an air sign. So I keep saying I've got such an Aries in my energy, and I don't know. I know an Aries rising. I don't have an Aries in my life. I have no idea where this is coming from, but it keeps flying out of my mouth. Okay, so the Queen of Swords in reverse, somebody's like having everything fly out of their mouth. This could be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, who is a bitch. I'm telling you that when the Queen of Swords is in reverse, this is scary. Like, she'll cut you. This is the type of person that will cut you. This is the type of person who will pick up an implement in the kitchen and come at you. That's scary to me. I'm telling you that that's scary. Wednesday, wow, guys. Okay, Wednesday, we've got the Two of Cups in reverse. So whether business or a partnership or business partnership or a marriage or relationship, it seems to be, is it Journey who's saying separate ways? Somebody's going on a journey. We have the Six of Swords in reverse here, and somebody doesn't want this to happen. Somebody wants to go back or wants somebody to come back, or somebody's going back to the past, which is like back to the future. I know that's crazy right now. Somebody's name is Michael. Somebody's initial is J. Somebody's name is Fox. Okay, all right. So moving on, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because we can't make it a whole reading. We've got the Four of Cups. So here is somebody saying, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to feel this melancholy anymore. I don't want to be like this anymore. Somebody, look at that. We've got the 2, the 3, and the 4. There's emotions and there's arguing here. So I want you to be very careful with this. Clarifying the Four of Cups. We have the 7 of Pentacles. Somebody doesn't want to put the work into this relationship anymore. Maybe you don't want to put the work into this relationship anymore. Maybe this relationship or this job or this business partnership has become too much work. It feels like it doesn't yield enough for work situations, investments. It's like not yielding enough. I hope nobody conned you, because that Knight of Swords in reverse is always like somebody's like, yeah, I'm going to sell you a switchblade and you better sign right here. All right, so now on Friday, we've got the Two of Pentacles, trying to make things work, trying to make money stretch. You could be a single mother with a little boy and a little dog. Okay, that means I had to raise kids essentially alone. Okay, so let me tell you that you will have to stretch every single penny, and it doesn't mean that you won't have a happy, comfortable life, but yeah, you're not blowing money on yourself, because it's all about the kids and trying to make the life comfortable for them. So there's going to be very little to work with, but you can work with this. So somebody could be really trying to stretch that budget. And if you look at this, it looks like she's also trying to, she's got them both up in the air. Somebody could have been juggling. I don't really get that vibe. I just get some people here that are not getting along, but it's like trying to divide this up, maybe dividing time between being, maybe you're a young mother and you've got the little doggy tugging on your skirt, and the little boy needs your attention, and you're like, there's only so much of me to go around. You need to get some rest. We have the Five of Swords because you're feeling like somebody ripped you off. I don't know who did this to you. I don't know what this is about, but you may be feeling like somebody was lying to you. And the Five of Swords is very much behind your back because you don't see it happening. Somebody, somebody could have done something to you. That little devil over there wanted all of the cookies and wasn't sharing with anybody. Somebody could have involved you in a business deal or in a business scam or in a, I don't know, I'm getting like multi-level marketing, or I don't know. Did somebody try to tell you, here, go sell these lotions and creams and like to distract you from what they were doing? I got the Page of Swords. You're getting some news that you don't like here, some news that makes you uncomfortable. Don't worry about it because everything will balance itself out. Okay. There's some deep seated financial matters that require your introspection, because we have the Seven of Swords. There's the 5 and the 7, because it's all out in the open now. Maybe you're the one bringing out in the open because we have a situation that is being forced. And we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. You're like a bitch. I don't want to work with you anymore. I'm not going to pick up this drill. I'm not going to pick up this hammer. I'm not going to clean a bunch of shit up for you. Somebody wanted like a built-in maid. I don't know where that's coming from. You know, like I'm leave the lights on from some, you know, maybe you're a housekeeper at a Motel 6 and these people have you working your ass off to the point where you're like, your hands are getting messed up. That's happened to me before, where like even this, from washing my hands so much, the skin was just like so raw. Okay, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. You're going to part with some money and get rid of whatever this is. You could be the one forcing this issue. Maybe somebody keeps fucking with you. Maybe somebody keeps lying to you about something, and it seems to be about finances and the reason for the emotions. But there's definitely something happening here, and that's where that introspection needs to occur. All right, sweetheart, I'll be thinking about you. I don't like this for you, but it seems to be necessary, and you're going to be just fine. All right, let's see. Libra, let's get your object or omen, or both. All right, let's see. Let it go. Nobody's worth this kind of stress. Let it go. If they let you go, say thank you. And take your pretty little ass somewhere else. Just go. You don't need this kind of, and nobody has to be mean. All you have to do, somebody rejects you or you have to reject somebody, end it right there. It requires nothing more. I know that sounds like it's easier said than done, but let me guarantee you that I have done this before and it can be done. And I have walked other people through doing this as well. You're okay. Okay, somebody needs to do some, maybe would benefit from neuro-linguistic programming. All right, we've got woman. Okay, so we have woman. All is not as it appears. There could be another woman factoring into this. Don't get crazy, Libra, because I know a crazy Libra that I was told once hit another person over the head with a fucking beer bottle. Let's not be crazy, okay? Let's not be crazy. Don't think that this is about another woman. It is just an omen that says things are not as they appear. All right, moving on to Scorpio. Very exciting for Libra. We're going to wish you well, Libra, and pray for you. And everybody, please remember to pray for each other. You don't have to know each other to pray, and you could pray I don't care how you pray. It doesn't matter. Like, send positive vibes, you know. Burn some incense and think, you know, about everybody that needs a little bit of extra help. Because you never know, what comes around goes around, and you want to make sure that you're putting as much good energy out there. What if you need somebody else to pray for you? All right, so Scorpio. All right, let me reorient my... You're reorienting yourself. Maybe you need a reorientation. Maybe an orientation is significant to you. Are you getting a new job? Are you trying to get a new job? Are you trying to do something different? It seems like you're trying to reorient yourself. All right, so for love. Huh. Scorpio? Okay. All right, Scorpio? Ooh. Be careful with the... I'm not going to say it. Look, you know what you're doing. I'm a Scorpio. I shouldn't have to tell you this. Okay, so I know why I shouldn't remind you. Okay, so a reconnection with somebody from your past may occur, Scorpio. You will know what to do and what not to do, and you will choose what you choose to do. Your ruling planets are Mars and Pluto, so you know how to take action. You know how to chop off heads, as well as... burn things down, like not literally, just figuratively, right? You know how to burn the motherfucker down when you know, like, it's no good. And Pluto, you do it because you're a natural psychologist. Maybe you're a psychologist. I could be talking to a therapist. I could be talking to a neuro-linguistic programmer. All right, so your productivity will be high early in the week, so take advantage. That energy of the horse, go with it. For your finances, again, we've got matters of introspection that need to be focused on midweek. There could be a bill or something coming due. You need to focus on getting the money for whatever that is, because here it comes. And trust your intuition for all inner transformation and emotional shifts, because you're transforming, okay? Let's see. Yeah, your creativity is off the charts. All right, which is the reason why your love is highlighted. Okay, because that's the same creativity that does both. Fifth house matters. Okay, so for whatever's going on with your love and relationships, Make sure that you don't get distracted by love and relationships because it looks like you need to do something about some money or to get some money, or money is some kind of an issue. And it could be that you are trying to realign, reorient yourself with some kind of a budget or something that may have gone by the wayside. I don't think you're overspending. I just think it's like you need more money coming in. All right. Your discipline and your patience is what's going to, I can't say it, what's going to drive this transformation. Okay. So we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All right, and let's clarify each. What else do I need to tell you? Okay, so the 26th, pay attention to your finances. Okay, we're thinking about that long-term planning. You know, don't get too crazy because this is only a week-long reading. Okay, but we do need to have plans in place, do we not? All right. What's notable here is that it's going to work out for you. Somehow you get past whatever little bump in the finances there is. There's a shift in mindset that can change everything. So trust your intuition here. Now let's look at this together, shall we? On Monday, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So there we go. That's that constraint with the money not coming in. On Tuesday, we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Again, the constraint, either legacy or there's like money and inheritance, something that's not coming towards you when you need it, or it's not yielding what you need. On Wednesday, we've got the Five of Cups that you're like, oh my gosh, this is a disaster, but I promise you we'll get right through it because this is a week long. On Thursday, we got the Three of Cups in reverse. You're like, holy shit, this is really like a hellfire and brimstone. Like, I don't know what's going on, but maybe three people are arguing and maybe it just feels like everybody's just out of control. You could have some people coming towards you that want to bring some emotional news towards you, but what they really want to do is argue with them, and you may be trying to avoid them because of this. And we have on Friday the Ace of Wands in the upright. You're like, I'm going to do it because I got to get through it no matter what this looks like. Even if I only have a tiny wand, it is a wand nonetheless. All right, so we've got the Queen of Pentacles in the upright on Saturday, and we have the Empress. Very good. Scorpio. Queen of Pentacles upright means that you get that money, that you're able to put the money together. The Empress says you've got the money. All right, so clarifying the Knight of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands on Monday. So somebody could be helping you. They could be a fire sign. They could be very fiery, or this is just indicating that your creativity is what you need to focus on, and you need to empower yourself with that. Get creative with your solutions. On Tuesday with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, we have the King of Swords in reverse. King of Swords, it's like the Queen of Swords in reverse. That's an air sign, and that's somebody who wants to fuck with you. Now, this could just be somebody that could be older, King of Swords in reverse. They may not be feeling empowered. They could be angry about something. They just want to fight with somebody, and if they're used to you being soft and yielding, what will they do, Scorpio? You know this answer by heart. They'll stab you. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. I've experienced this in different ways in my life, that because I'm always the nice one and I'm always the one that people want to talk to, the next thing they do as soon as they're pissed off is they hurt me. Okay, this King of Swords in reverse for some reason maybe feels like he's the one that wants to bring the communication and fuck with you and ruin the middle of your week. And you're like, I don't even know how to handle you because I know what you're going to do. All right, so this could be an air sign, so a Libra, an Aquarius, or a Gemini, and you know how they can get when they get negative. And I'm telling you, be very careful because this one wants to go for the jugular. I don't know who this is. This could be a coworker. This could be a family member. This could be somebody. It doesn't look like a relationship at all. So it's not somebody you're in a relationship with. I don't know. Hell, you could have been in the relationship in the past, but I don't see that yet. Well, you know, make a liar out of me. Okay, so somebody wants a new beginning with you. They just want to share with you. They just want to, you to pour into their cup. But did you notice something about this cup, my dear Scorpio? Look at it. It's empty. You cannot pour into another person's cup until you have poured into your own. Because if you keep pouring into other people's cups, what happens, honey? You end up with nothing, and then you end up sick, and then everybody's like, oh, now you won't, help me with this, or be there for me, or go to the gym with me, or do these things. Well, I can't because I've poured out my cup. But you don't have to explain your bandwidth or your upload and download speeds to anybody. On Thursday, we have the Three of Cups in reverse. Again, this pouring out kind of energy, this like overdoing it energy, this over emotional energy, and we get a Page of Cups in reverse. So you get somebody who's coming in who will try to offer you a tiny apology after like probably pissing you off. Look, I'd rather have somebody, go ahead. Look, if anybody's coming at me to fuck with me or piss me off, do it now because I'm not going to deal with you later. That's if I deal with you at all. Okay, that's what I have to say. Maybe that's how you're going to have to be. I'm probably older than you, and it's not that I go for the jugulars, that I also became in my life sick and tired of people being abusive to me because I didn't have anything to pour into their cup, or they got so used to me pouring into the cup that when I couldn't pour into the cup for whatever reason, they only were being very selfish about themselves and what they didn't get. You may be at that point because then this person tries to apologize and you're like, sorry, man, how about no? How about you just don't do this and you understand that there's something going on with me if I can't pour into your cup? All right, so with your Ace of Wands on Friday, we also have the Six of Pentacles. So somebody's trying to be reciprocal. Somebody hopes that you'll be reciprocal. Somebody hopes that you'll share your energy, that, you know, karma from the past, present, future, whatever will balance itself out. But this does balance itself out because this is the Ace of Wands. So you're the one creating your own destiny. You will share your cookies with other people. You could be dealing with the Libra, or matters of a Libra could be significant because this card and that energy came out in the Libra reading, and we got these two people that are kind of hidden back there. There could be some people back there that are kind of watching you like, boy, it looks like she's doing really well or he's doing really well. Can I have some of your cookies? And this person's like, I made these cookies myself. I'm actually offering them to everybody else, but you don't even look. Show yourself, okay? So on Saturday, we have the Queen of Pentacles in the upright, and that is clarified by the Seven of Swords in reverse. Did I pick that up right? All right, so Seven of Swords in reverse, Queen of Pentacles. You're in your Queen of Pentacles phase. Doesn't mean that you have to have all the money. It just means that you know what you're doing and that you're comfortable and that you're stable in what you're doing and that you know how to proceed in the real world, in the physical world, walking through the real world. You're not making illusions about this. And we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So you're done, again, with people right in your face doing things towards you that usually involve talking shit about you, being mean to you, being angry or vindictive towards you. Yeah, just say no. On Sunday, with the Empress in the upright, we also have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Did you see this? There could be a husband and a wife that both want to fuck with you. I don't know what's wrong with these people. These could both be air signs. They don't have to be air signs at all. It is just definitely a married or in cahoots type of partnership or friendship or grouping here, but it is two people. It is a male and a female, and somehow they're pissed off at you. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Whatever it is that somebody's trying to bring to your door, to your life, or to your phone, or in your ear, or in a message, whatever it is, you're going to have to get really good at blocking this out and saying, no, I'm not going to let it happen. You go ahead and say what you want to do, but you will not put it in my ear, because I'm positive with your astrology, you're already dealing with enough, okay? That's my little motivation for you, my motivational, tough love mommy speech, to let you know that it is quite all right to shut people out of your life if they don't know how to behave. I often have to tell a particular person in my life how, I have to gently say it, how rude this person is and how judgmental this person is. And I don't like to say this to this person, but this person puts me in a position of having to listen to all of this stuff I don't want to hear, because at the end of the day, this person never says, are you okay? I mean, this person does, but it never really is, are you okay? It's, are you okay? Let me tell you all my bullshit. Okay, why? We've got our own things to deal with. That's why I'm telling you, you need to stop that leak, because that is the shift in the mindset that I'm talking about that can change everything. Trust your intuition with what I'm telling you. All right, let's see. We want to get a card here. I wanted to kind of, not this one is flopping around. We won't want floppies, okay? So we want something to come out strong here and powerful like this. We're going to take it, the ice cream cone. It wanted to pop out before, and it did. Let your playful side come out. Okay, that means you need to focus on doing everything you need to do. Take care of what you can. You're not married to your family. You are a part of that family. If you're married to that person. But at the same time, you have to honor yourself, take care of yourself, take yourself out to get an ice cream cone or eat an ice cream. I don't know. I don't know if you can or even want to do that. But let your playful side come out. And remember that you need to protect your inner child, and everybody else has to raise their own. All right, Sagittarius, on to you. Sorry that I had to, sorry, not sorry. Scorpio, you needed to hear that. You need to not let people bring static and drama and whatever it is to your door, because there's a big difference between somebody saying, well, hell, I need to talk to you, but let me think this out. Let me write this out. Let me put it in an email to make sure that I put it in there so that person, when they have a chance to communicate, they can see what I need, right? Now, you may have, like me, some octogenarians, some much older relatives that really aren't going to do that. And we have to honor our parents as well, right? But that doesn't mean that you have to honor everybody in your family and allow them to come. And, Sagittarius, is there something in there for you about this? Do you have people that are just kind of like wanting your energy and wanting your energy, but they're never really considering whether or not you have refilled your cup? That could be significant for you, Sagittarius. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. Okay, let's see. All right, Sagittarius. For love, this is a good time for reconnecting with a past love or setting new intentions. Just be very careful with that, because remember, these things during Mercury retrograde, it's very prone, to happening, but it doesn't always work out the way that you think. Okay, sometimes people just want to come in, maybe they never got closure, they want to do the closure thing, or whatever. But remember that you could be disrupting another person's life. Like, so what if you go on to say, or somebody does that to you, like they want to come and apologize to you for something they did, and you're like, you're here now for what? Because I'm happy, I'm in a loving relationship, and you've shown up at my house. Okay, so you don't want to barge into anybody's life. Only you know whether or not it's appropriate for you to do that, or whether you know if somebody really wants to hear from you, and vice versa, if you want to hear from them. Somebody could be trying to reconnect with you from the past, and you're like, yeah, no, bitch, I don't want it. Okay, so for your career, you need to use your creative side with your practical focus, because that's going to fuel your productive outcomes. For finances, you need some clarity regarding your financial future. Uh-huh. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so there could be something here about needing clarity, or you need to be more clear about what it is that is going on with your financial future, because it is about finances and it is about the future. All right, don't get over focused on money, because we're all going to die. Okay, we're all going to die. I'm going to die. You're going to die. We're dying. Okay, we're going to die. So remember that you can't take it with you, and it doesn't matter if you're driving a Hummer. Absolutely no one cares. Does anybody even make those anymore? No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. Maybe you only care about, like me, I care about having a miniature cow one day. Leave me alone. Okay. That matters to me. All right. Matters to me. It doesn't matter. I don't have to have the Mercedes-Benz logo on the front of my freaking vehicle so that people from fucking a quarter mile away. Why is that significant? Is somebody driving a Mercedes they can't afford? I don't know. Maybe you're paying for somebody's Mercedes. I hope you're not paying for a kid's Mercedes that nobody can afford. Why is that important? Because it's not important. Okay. So what's notable here is that there's expansion in social intelligence that allows for better adaptability. All right, Sagittarius, you are adaptable, but there's something here about needing to adapt around finances, or something about something is really stressing you out financially. All right, so let's look at love again, okay? So okay, so you're enthusiastic and your romance is enhanced early in the week. So that's because of, we don't want to look at it. I don't want them to pop out that way, Spirit. Pop out. Somebody's going to pop up. Somebody's going to pop up. You're dealing with a Libra? Okay, and a Scorpio. Okay, so we've got too many cards that are, everything is coming out. Something's coming out here. Okay, so early in the week, that's because of that Mercury-Venus connection. Could be dealing with a Virgo, a Gemini, a Libra, a Taurus. You could be one of them. They could be one of you. All right. Only you know your astrology. And you need to focus on whatever it is that keeps your energy, your vibration peaceful and high, so that you can restore this, more of that inner peace, by about February 28th. And for your career, follow the curiosity, so new ideas can actually be those long-term ventures. All right. Do things for the right reasons. All right. You don't have to keep up with the music video. For your finances, also, that I think I already mentioned to you, right? February 28th, you should get more of that financial clarity, or that's what you're working toward. It's also that restoring that inner balance, which is why it could have to do with your finances as well. As within, so without. Okay. So, all right. What's notable here is that you're going to try to revisit some formative experiences. So this could have to do with your childhood. This could be about your past. You could be seeing a regression therapist. You could be having somebody, take you on a trip. I hope you don't do ayahuasca. Not hating on that, but be careful with drugs in other countries and licking frogs. Okay, just be careful with that. There's an issue with travel. I don't know. I would be very careful for a while. Okay, so clear what no longer aligns with your path. Your name could be a line. Somebody could have drawn a line in the sand. Circle in the sand. Okay, so somebody's name could be Belinda. The initial B could be significant. The initial C could be significant. Belinda Carlisle. Carlisle is significant. 6, 7. If you go to the Chateau Marmont, don't be looking for the haunted rooms. Could you? I don't know why that's important there for somebody. Don't show me the cards. Don't show me the cards. Okay. Johnny Depp is significant. Johnny Depp and his wife are significant. Whoa, that's a lot of information. Okay, let's see. Don't. They keep on. There's something that they want to put right in my face. Something's in my face. There's something in your face, Sagittarius. It's right in front of you. All right, please, Spirit, keep the cards face down. All right, there we go. That's better. Somebody's name is Brian. I've got Francis. Something about Good Friday is significant. You're a Catholic. All right, let's see. The initial G is... Whoa! Keep them down! Oh, we got one too many, so I'm going to keep it. Let's honor that. Somebody's honorable. All right. Let's see. Somebody drives a Tesla. That's a lot of money. Is it working for you? Okay. Elon Musk was bitching about paying taxes. I told him, I said, that's taxes. What... Yeah. Do you have an issue with taxes? Somebody's having an issue with taxes. Okay, so on Monday, we've got the star. You're focused on the star. You're focused on healing. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. You could be an Aquarius with significant Sagittarius placement. Wild. All right, what's clarifying the star is the Knight of Wands in reverse. I don't want to be a player no more. Somebody doesn't want to be a player no more, and they want you to be their shining star. You are their shining star. You're focused on the star. By Tuesday, we have the Hermit in reverse. Somebody wants to come out. You know, I'm coming out tonight. Somebody wants to come out tonight. Somebody wants to see you. All right, so the Hermit in reverse could be dealing with the Virgo, and we have the Six of Pentacles. This could be trying to make something right. Somebody's trying to balance some karma with you. Somebody wants to come out and reach out and touch you. You're right. Somebody wants to touch you. Okay, so we also have on Wednesday the Queen of Cups you could be dealing with. Maybe you want to reach out and touch a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You could be the Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And the Sagittarius wants to reach out and touch you. No, no, no. You say no. Okay, so the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Hierophant. Somebody wants to marry you. Somebody wants to marry the Queen of Cups. Maybe you are the Sagittarius who wants to take the Hierophant, balance out some karma, and marry yourself a Queen of Cups. Very rare. Find one. Tell me how it goes. All right, so on Thursday, we have the Emperor. Okay, so somebody wants to be the Emperor. I'll be the hero. Okay, so then we've got the Six of Wands. Somebody wants to fucking have a victory, but there was a failure in the past. The ring was never given. There was a failure. There's something embarrassing that happened with the Emperor, but the Emperor is now in the upright. So I don't know. Don't be mad at your Emperor. If this is an Emperor you were dealing with, you could be the Queen of Cups, and now the Emperor is in the upright. Something happened in the past. There was a marriage, or there wasn't a marriage, but it happened in the past. Two of Swords. Somebody in the past couldn't make on Friday. They're reflecting on, because we have past energy with the Six of Wands in reverse of a shame, and something that happened with somebody was a player and the Hierophant. And this, I know it's past energy because we have a transformation of somebody who goes from the Knight of Wands to the Emperor. So on Friday, we've got the Two of Swords. Somebody needs to make a decision and didn't or couldn't or will. And we have the Judgment. Somebody's under judgment and receiving heavy karma. So, and I don't think this is you. Okay, this is somebody around you. This is somebody near you, but it's not the Queen of Cups and it's not the Emperor because both are upright. All right, let's see. It's the Knight of Wands in reverse. It's a fire sign like you. This could just be an action the way that somebody was, but I'm getting there was a very immature energy because it's under the healing star or somebody's star and somebody's lucky star, and this was a fire sign. And it could be, this could be happening real time to you right now. Be careful with fire signs when they are immature. You're a fire sign. You know what I'm talking about. On Saturday, we've got the Queen of Swords. Woo! We got two people that might as well be from fucking two different solar systems. We have the, did you know that the Andromeda, there's a star in the Andromeda, never mind, Andromeda, look it up, like it's a black hole, okay? So, because something's a black hole, something you get through, or you're like, oh my God, you shall not pass, because that's a black hole. Okay, we've got the Queen of Cups over here, which is a water sign, and then we have an air sign, could not be more different. The Queen of Swords is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. She's also in the upright, so, you can't be mad at her. Now, this could be, you could be a fire sign with, a fire sun with an air rising. Damn, all of that is hard, though. All right, and we have the Two of Cups. So you could be, or somebody could be in a relationship with the Queen of Swords and is trying to marry the Queen of Cups, or I don't know what to make of this. What are you doing, Sagittarius? Are you doing Sagittarius things again? Because somebody's your Nine of Pentacles. On Sunday, somebody's your Nine of Pentacles because that Queen of Swords is going to cut your head off. You're the Queen of Swords and you're going to cut off some player's head because, ooh, we have the Sun. We have an extra card and we're going to see what it is. I know you're dying. I know that you're just on bated breath to see this, but somebody's wish fulfillment. Look at these. These could not be different. We got the Queen of Cups has a drinky drinky, and the Queen of Swords is going to cut your head off with a smile. One could have black hair, one could have brown hair, but this man with the this is an older man, like he looks kind of graying at the temples. She is going to, whoever this is, this doesn't have to be you, it could be one of your children, it could be anybody in your family, because obviously the fire energy is over here. Okay, so maybe like you have been a player in the past and you don't want to be a player no more. But I feel like this is just, okay, how about I don't know who this is happening to. This is happening around you. I'm not sure because we have the Six of Cups. Holy shit. Somebody wants to reconnect with somebody from the past. Now, if it's you, Sagittarius, and you're trying to go back to somebody from the past and it happens to be a Queen of Cups, this Queen of Swords is going to take your head off. So prepare yourself. You might be like, I don't care. Flip and switch the gender roles because, I don't care about that either because somebody's saying, I know who the sun is. I know who the star is. You could be... This person is far away from you, or at a distance, or light years ago. Somebody's an astronomer. Somebody's got a good telescope. You could just have an app you pay for on your... Okay, anyway, we've got the star and the sun. Astrology is significant here, and you're trying to go back to somebody from the past. Be very careful with that, because this is like what? You're going back because you're nostalgic, and you better know why you're doing this, because that Queen of Swords... I mean, you could be the Queen of Swords. This Knight of Wands in reverse could be your Sagittarius and you're a cross watcher. And I'm going to have to tell you something, whether the Sagittarius likes it or not. Sagittarius people piss me off once in a while too. Remember, he's trying to go back to somebody from his past who is this Two of Cups. That is the sun, that is the star, and it's a Queen of Cups. And he's trying to go back to this bitch over here. I'm not saying she's a bitch, she's in the upright, but to this water sign who looks like she's, got something on the rocks, okay? All right, let's see. What is your omen or object? Where are we at? 141? All right. Sagittarius, I don't know what to say about this. This is crazy. It could be, are you that Knight of Wands in reverse and you're juggling the cups and the swords? Be careful. Be careful. Okay. Somebody's a polygamist and wants to marry two people. Or it's like, no, this one's going to cost me too much to divorce this one, but I want to go to this one. All right, so bottle, you've got jealousy at work. Advice is to kill them with kindness. The nicer you are, the further you'll get. Okay, so here's some advice. If you're trying to move toward the Queen of Cups, you're either going to have to kill her with kindness. Please don't kill anybody. I don't even like that word, because this woman might kill you. I don't know. You are going to have to figure this out, Sagittarius. That's a whole lot of everything. Sometimes Sagittarius at different stages and times in their lives can have very messy love lives, because I don't understand that. Sagittarius, I doubt that's you. This could be happening to you, and you're like, you know what? I know all those players, Rita, because I used to be one. All right, so moving on to Capricorn. Boy, Capricorn, let's calm this thing down. I love Capricorn. My daddy was a Capricorn. Yes, you guys are just like too overbearing sometimes. That can be very difficult for people born in the monkey year like me. All right. I don't even remember what year. What year was my dad born? I don't know why this is going to bother me. Somebody's from Dearborn. All right. What Chinese animal was January 1937? Oh, no way. My dad was born in the year of the fire rat, because the new year did not start until February 11th. Okay, that makes sense. My dad was very, very resourceful and had all of the traits. And even with, my mom was a stay-at-home mom the majority of the time, never moved a muscle until my parents divorced. Then all the muscles moved. And my dad was able, like, we went to Disneyland. We Like every year we went to vacation in Baja California, Mexico, and then every summer we did that, and we were going to amusement parks. I mean, we went to Disneyland, we went to Magic Mountain, we went to the Queen Mary, we went everywhere. We were on airplanes, and my dad didn't make a lot of money. He was a machinist. Very rat resourceful. Okay, so Capricorn, you could be born in the year of the fire rat. I could be talking to a fire rat. Capricorn, beautiful. I love you. Very good. Stay loose. You need to learn how to relax. You don't have to work all the time. Capricorn, are you dealing with the Sagittarius? I hope not, because I didn't see earth energy there. Something about Capricorn is significant with that Sagittarius reading. I hope not. Ooh, you could be a Capricorn. You could be a Sagittarius with a Capricorn placement. I hope so, because that will help a lot. All right. So for your love, your focus is on your family and emotional trust that needs to be strengthened. All right. For your career, you may be looking for a job, or you may be looking for some kind of professional stability that may return this week. You may get news of that. For your finances, you may get some financial clarity midweek here. So you need to focus on practical growth and more steady choices. What's notable is a phase of building structure and emotional steadiness. That's what's Six of Wands. Wow. Victory. Okay, so victory is yours. Somebody needs to pray more. All right, let's see. All right, so somebody's name is, I don't know, are you Kenya? Are you from Kenya? Okay. Somebody's name is Amani. All right. And we'll get deeper into this. Like for love and your family connections, it's emotional trust that will be significant, that could be fostered more this week, right? Resolving some issues. Okay, so if somebody's earned your trust finally, you may drop your guard or vice versa. If you've been trying to get somebody to trust you, you may have finally earned their trust. 3, 6, 7. All right. The number 9 is significant to somebody here. All right. So, okay, so you're going to have to choose stability over excitement. Okay, so like when it comes to some professional decisions, some job-related decisions, something like that, you're going to need to go with a job that may seem boring but is more stable. That's more like you anyway. Okay. Sometimes I just rearrange them without even thinking about it. But who knows why. 3, 6, 7. Okay, we did that. Yeah, so remember that the momentum will come in. This Aquarius energy will strengthen your financial focus. So that'll improve your money mindset. It's been really, February will have been what you'll say that was slow. Okay, so you'll get clarity where there's confusion. Okay, so Capricorn, Page of Pentacles, news of money coming in, news of more opportunities. You could be taking a job like maybe being a dishwasher. I'd do it. With the Chariot, moving forward, actually moving forward. Got some forward movement finally. We've got the Seven of Wands in reverse. That's that message of not needing to be so defensive, not feeling like you have to be, feeling like you can finally trust people and let them in. 6 of Wands, this could have something to do with in the past where you felt like you had a victory with somebody and then there was some trust issue that developed. And we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. It could have affected your home life there. That's Wednesday. I've got the King of Cups, so there's romance coming in on Wednesday, or the foundation for this 2 of Pentacles, this indecision from the past will be reinforced by the King of coming towards you. Okay, so I've got the 4 of Pentacles in the upright for Thursday. So somebody's holding on to that money and kind of keeping it secret, keeping it safe. See the way she's side-eyeing. There's judgment here. So you have made a judgment call. You're making sense of what's going on, understanding that this is kind of like, there are some things that are out of our hands and they're in the hands of the divine. We've got the Ace of Swords on Friday. The Ace of Swords is like an energy of truth, of cutting away what doesn't serve you, making sure that you serve yourself the truth before you serve it to others so that you understand the truth, because we have the 7 of Swords. So there has been an issue with some trust being broken as to the words being spoken and something happening there, because we have also the 10 of Swords in reverse. Trust has been broken. We got to watch it that this weekend we don't see a replay about that. Okay, because we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. Somebody could be feeling like, yeah, that's not what I wanted. You know, I really wish you would not have brought me your sword of truth, which is making me feel those 10 swords that were in my back that I was healing from. So be careful that you don't get into an argument, you know, this weekend with somebody over something that already happened, because there's too much good luck happening for you. Eight of Cups, you could be returning to a job or an industry, something that you were doing before. It could also be for some of you a relationship that you were in before. Could have been with the King of Cups, because those are cups and the King of Cups is there. But I don't see like a whole lot of like relationship reunification with just people that aren't in your life right now. I don't see that. And we have the Devil in reverse. So you will resist some temptation to go back to talking about some situations, talking swords about things that already happened in the past. Okay, so once words are out, we can't do anything about them. You cannot reel them back in. They're just already out. All right. Now, if you're blackout drunk here, Capricorn, I know shit can happen. Okay, so that's something different. But I'm talking about when people are purposely and consciously trying to hurt each other. Oh, wow. Okay, so flew out. We're taking it. We have the Fly. Setbacks are causing disappointment. Be patient and things will go as planned. That's what I'm talking about. Don't let, you know, think about a fly. It's something nuisance. It's something trivial. It's very small. It could cause problems. They carry diseases. They are disgusting. You don't want them anywhere near you. So the setbacks that the fly would be talking about would be nuisances. Don't let the nuisances, like any old disagreements from the past, cause you such distraction that you're not focusing on what you need to do for the present to continue to stabilize your financial position. All right. Moving on to Aquarius. Somebody's name is Marquise. Somebody's name is Marquise. All right. Austin, Texas is significant. Germany is significant. You might find out that somebody that you respected is convicted of racketeering. I don't know where that's coming from, but I'm getting it. Some at Walgreens is significant. Somebody could be taking a job at Walgreens to make a little cash. This has nothing to do, the racketeering has nothing to do with Walgreens. Ugh, I got to say that too, for whatever reason. All right. And you know, the initial G is super important to you because I got two G's there. Two G's. Doesn't that mean money? Two G's are G's. Yeah, G's are 1,000. You need $2,000. I need $2,000. Okay, so let's see. All right, Aquarius, for love, authentic romantic choices may be encouraged. So there could be a need to make sure that your romantic life is authentic and that it's not based on appearances or labels or, you know, that sort of thing. You know, like somebody's only happy with you if you can provide them a Gucci bag. Like, that's so fucking weird. Okay, I don't know where that came did. For your career, you need to be innovative and visionary, and that's going to help you. Okay, that will lead you especially into leadership roles, so you need to somehow prioritize and identify where you can be innovative and a visionary. For your finances, you need to be grounded and peace will be found. Okay, so there's some long-term financial planning that needs to take place, or you're already working on long-term financial planning, or maybe you're planning for long-term finances because things have changed. That's where innovation is necessary. What's notable is that this is a high energy week for a personal reset and reclaiming your identity. Did you lose your identity in a love relationship or in a job? Something happened here where somebody lost their identity or didn't have their identity, which is really weird for an Aquarius, because usually Aquarius is very sure of their identity. That's very, are you immutable? You could be immutable, have mutable placements. All right. So again, with, you know, it could be this is coming from a love relationship. Maybe there's a love relationship that caused you or is causing you to self-doubt. You know, you've got doubt and self-worth. You know, you can help dissolve that if you claim your energy back. Okay, remember that you're the only one that needs to think that you're valuable. You're the only one that needs to think that you're creative. You need to be more like me. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about my creativity or how I express my value. Only I know that. All right. You could have been challenged with that all your life, like I have been all my life. You know, like I've always felt like I've had to either explain myself or people ask for an explanation, or, you know, maybe somebody's questioning you and you don't want to be questioned and you're like, what the fuck are you questioning me for? I know who I am. Don't worry about it. You need to get more assertive about that. Don't worry about what other people are doing. You don't need other people to worry about what you're doing. This is really significant this week for you, Aquarius. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Worry about what you can do for yourself. And, you know, you get your You get your self-worth from feeling like you can self-actualize in any way. Somebody works for Pizza Hut. Is Pizza Hut still around? Damn. Somebody works for Pizza Hut. You know, there have been some illusions about something. Some Five of Swords, maybe, you know, somebody was a little bit too sharp with the words. And they may not have lost sleep over it either. Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, somebody could have a chemical imbalance. You know, don't feel bad about that if you're struggling with that. You know, just be careful because the solutions are not at the bottom of the bottle, and they're not at the bottom of a pill bottle either. Okay, I'm not a medical doctor. I cannot advise you on anything medical, and if you don't know that, you are a fool. All right, let's see, Aquarius. Somebody's a fool in your life. Okay, so this innovative thinking is necessary. Okay, for your finances, okay, you need to ground yourself and really get real. Use that Taurus energy to ground yourself about money because this is a reset week. Reclaim your identity, Aquarius. And if you say, I have no identity, I don't even know who I am, Rita. Okay, well, then you need to define who you are by being creative, innovative. Who are you? I could be working at Pizza Hut and tell you exactly who I am at every moment of the day. If I'm not sure about what I'm doing, I'm going to tell you about that too. All right, let's see. Right now, I know I got to do this because if I don't do this, then it won't get done. Then I feel worse about myself. There's something that you need to get done because it's making you feel worse about yourself. Okay, you need to take a page from my book here. Somebody could be writing a book. Somebody should write a book. There's some kind of a writing that somebody could do that would be helpful. I'm not sure. AI is significant. AI, you know, seems to tell people or people think that they can take AI and write a book. Well, it's going to be a book written by AI. How is that human? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, because it's not human. That's why you need to have that human touch. You need to know what you're writing about. But somebody could be into writing technical manuals. And, you know, wouldn't that be just like you, Aquarius? Okay, so for Monday, we have the Three of Wands, feeling like there's so much to do and you only have 2 hands. But what you need to do is right in front of you. Is something right in front of you that you need to do. We have the Six of Swords, so that's moving on from something painful or understanding that something painful already happened. It is in the past. You have moved away from it or you need to move away from it, or traveling overseas is significant. Going somewhere over the water is significant. Taking a trip is significant. If you can't afford a trip, nobody can, nobody does. That's okay because that just means moving on to some healing on the other side of something. You could be healing from something. Queen of Wands in reverse, you could be dealing with a bitch. Okay, Queen of Wands in reverse is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, who's very selfish, very self-centered. On Tuesday, this person could cause you some problems because it looks like she's coming at you with a plunger, my friend. Because a Knight of Wands is an action most of the time, and this is like, I'm going to come at you with my bike. Seems very immature energy. I don't know who the Queen of Wands is. I'm going to tell you what, with this kind of energy, look, if people want to be fucking idiots, you just need to let them do that. Don't get involved in it. Don't get all pissed off and use your words where it doesn't matter. How does it matter, Aquarius? It does not. If this is at work, don't talk to that bitch. Okay, somebody could be a redhead. Six of Wands in reverse. Okay, so you may feel like you are just not getting those victories on Wednesday, that something's missing, everything's a mess, and you feel a tower. Remember that the tower is that Uranus energy. Don't be afraid of it. Be afraid more of some fucking lime jello with some shit suspended in it. This is pissing me off already. All right, so that tower energy is not pissing me off. What it is that this Queen of Wands energy seems to be coming at you with a plunger, and it's totally unnecessary because it's going to cause this Three of Cups here. So on Thursday, we got the Three of Cups, and you might be like, you know what, bitch, I'm going to drink. Or you're going to tell this man, I'm so sick of listening to what you have to say that I'm going to go to the bottle. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, we have the Three of Swords in reverse. You're already healing from something. Somebody's going to try to re-stimulate an old wound, and if people want to be mental, you let them be. Aquarius, I'm telling you to stay in your lane and put the blinders on, just like a horse in the year of the horse. On Friday, we have the Five of Wands in reverse. So the Five of Wands in reverse is good because it means like whatever this stupid argument is over here. I don't know what this bitter Betty, somebody's name is Betty, somebody BB, somebody has a BBL, somebody has a BB. I don't know what that means to you, but B initials B and B are significant. Baby is significant. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so you might have to spend some money and you don't have the money to spend, or you feel like you can't hold on to the money. Maybe the Five of Wands, the argument is about money. I don't see a whole lot of money here. So it's not like there's a bunch of resources to argue about because we only have the Four of Pentacles here. And on Saturday, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So something's going to change. Something will change. It takes time. Pentacles take years. Okay, so the suit of Pentacles, it takes years. You know, each pentacle is a year. So something could have been 10 years in the making, 10 years in the changing, whatever it is. It could have taken 10 years. It doesn't mean that this is going to take 10 years because obviously this is a reading for a week. And we have the Ace of Swords. Somebody could be lying about something, or you were lied to, or a lie is something that isn't the truth, or somebody could be trying to stab that knife in there. I'm not sure what that is because the Ten of Pentacles is great. And the Ace of Swords is kind of like, I don't know, maybe somebody needs to get clearer on themselves and be honest with themselves about something, a beginning, and something that isn't really working out. Okay, so the King of Cups in reverse, we could have somebody here. Now this, I don't know why I'm going to call him an asshole, but I am. So this is a water sign of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, male that's in the reverse is manipulative. Somebody's emotionally manipulative here. We got the Queen of Wands, the fire sign, and the King of Cups. You know, got a woman who's a fire sign and a man who is a water sign. Or somebody could be a water sign. Somebody could resonate with being a water sign. You know, sun, moon, rising. But the King of Cups, I don't know what is wrong with this guy, but this is depression. This is probably some kind of long-standing depression, something that needs to be talked through, something that needs to be worked through. Because as you can see in the upright, this man is dealing with it by doing nothing but thinking about it and drinking a beer. How's that going to help anybody if you're going to stay right there? It won't. I hope this isn't your husband. If this is your husband, I mean, this could be your wife. In this situation, the King of Cups has to remember that righting himself literally means righting himself. Get up and get out of that energy. If that person, it's a Sunday, it could be somebody that you're related to. And we have the Justice card. Somebody's getting a spanking. Okay, so I don't know what this is. Please don't hit your children. I don't believe in corporal punishment. I don't like it. I resent the fact that I even ever spanked my eldest or let his father spank him when he was a little kid. He was difficult. But I hate that. I hate the idea of that. But he happened to be a very, strong-willed child. So the Justice card means that the universe, the legal system more appropriately, is coming in to do something. I'm going to clarify that Justice card because I don't like that right there. And I also don't like that King of Cups. That's an emotionally manipulative, a person who gets upset and has a little tantrum, okay, and then takes it out on other people or the bottle or drinks and gets to be a mean drunk. Okay, let's see. Let me clarify the Justice. The Knight of Cups. There is definitely a water sign male. There's definitely somebody who could be prone to drinking, and if it isn't actual alcohol, this could just be being overly sentimental, overly sensitive. This could be a person that, watch out, when they are in a pissed off mood, they are going to talk and say terrible things if they don't get their way. Well, you're going to need to tell this person, hopefully this isn't you, but you're going to need to tell that person that they can take their attitude and do whatever they like with it. You need to, like on Sunday, if you're going to go visit family, don't go visit family. If you're going to have to be in close proximity with somebody who could become over-emotional, drink a beer, have an attitude, is very immature, is over-emotional, is oversensitive, doesn't know how to keep things in perspective and lets it bleed and spread out on everybody, then don't go anywhere. Don't talk to anybody. Lock yourself in the man cave, the woman cave, go to your garage, go gardening, walk outside, do something, put on the headphones, don't look at people, because this Sunday, this kind of energy could tell me that somebody could get to drinking and being stupid or arguing, and it's going to be all emotional, like a big baby having a tantrum. None of us can afford to have a tantrum. Okay, I don't know. Like, you could be who are you dealing with? Where was I getting this energy from before? Where was I getting this energy? Now I'm having a hard time remembering if it was an omen and an object. All right, well, you'll know. I don't know. What are you going to do? Watch all 12 of these? I'm already at 2 hours. Okay, so let's see. But I got to get through it. It's kind of like this. Okay, so I take a glance once in a while to see what it is that my cat needs and what I need and whatever I got to do when I'm doing this. But I'm getting that same energy from you. You can't let other things distract you, or you will never get anything done, even if all you can do is think. Okay, so what you got is the leaf, a turning point. Things are about to change for the better. Okay, so let me tell you something here. I don't care, Aquarius, what it is that's going on with your life. I've had every horrible thing happen. I've had to go through a lot of terrible things. I've even been a person that has lived at different times in my vehicle. Okay, and I have had to get through this by, realizing that what the universe was teaching me is that there was really nothing that mattered more than my safety, my health, and what I could do with what I had. Not appearances, not what any, certainly, it's not the easiest to have to say to somebody else, like what I'm saying. I've had to get away from a man at least twice by going into a vehicle because that's what I could do at that moment. Okay, so if you're in a situation with some emotionally manipulative man, I mean, flip and switch the roles, it could be a woman, and the only thing you could do is get the fuck away, then that's what you're going to have to do because you're going to need to turn over a new leaf. If this isn't about a relationship with somebody's drinking or drugging or is emotionally abusive or prone to just spouting off and having a tantrum, which, like I said, you know what the best thing you could do in the old days, we would grab the phone on the wall, grab the cord and yank it out of the wall. You can't always pull the plug on people and do that, especially if you're cohabitating and when you're married to somebody, you're married to somebody, you know what I mean? But you need to turn over a new leaf here and whatever this is. And if you're not in a relationship, this could be that you're sick of having to hear some relatives' emotional outbursts. It could be that you are provoked into having an emotional outburst. It could just be that you're sick of somebody in your family. Well, I'm going to tell you there, turn over a new leaf and don't you be the one that has that energy all right there. So Pisces, last but not least, Pisces, you're so sweet. You make life easier. Pisces, you're so watery and so wonderful. Pisces, I love doing your reading last because I know that I'm going to relax when I do your reading. Can you not tell that some of these horoscopes have already irritated me only because I could already see some behavior, picking up that has to do probably with the Uranus, the Uranian astrology. There's some Mars astrology in there as well with the Scorpio. All right. So I know that in Scorpio is going to have to be able to lock the doors, not talk to people. Sagittarius not gonna not get their head lopped off with a pair of scissors. But with you, Pisces, you're so dreamy. I'm a seventh house Pisces, so you know that I'm going to enjoy this very much because it's like, I like dreaming. Dreaming can make you mine. All right? Dreaming can make you mine, Pisces. Want to be mine? All right, let's see. Let's see, you could be asking somebody to be yours because romance may be heightened at this time for you because there's a focus on vulnerability and compassion. So remember to be compassionate, but, don't pour into cups when your pitcher is empty, okay? Also, don't be vulnerable with people that have hurt you before, Pisces, because you can be compassionate and you can accept somebody's apology. What is it a scripture? I can't remember. Is it a phrase? I don't know who says it. I can't think of that right now. Be quick to apologize. Now, if somebody took too long to apologize to you, Pisces, what does that mean? That means that they're slow to apologize, right? Some basic. All right, for your career, enhanced maturity can calm your focus and, can calm you down if you enhance your maturity. Your responsibility. Okay, so this is the thing about responsibilities. Okay, so calming your maturity, remaining calm. Sorry about that. All right, so this focus on maturity, focus on remaining calm. Yeah, if somebody's so immature that they can't apologize to you very quickly, if they can't get an apology out of their mouth, what can you expect from a relationship or a friendship or even a working environment with somebody like that? No. That means that person has some deep-seated issues with their own self-esteem, with their own ego. This is a person that could have some narcissistic, like, look, you may have been dealing with a narcissist, Pisces, especially if you're a Pisces rising, you know what I'm talking about. All right, they suck. Okay, but remember that person with Mercury Retrograde could come back in trying to say, well, I'm so sorry that it took me 15 years to bring you this apology, but here it is now. And you're like, who are you? You don't even know this person, or you're going to have to tell, look, if somebody comes up to me from my past that's like trying to say anything, I'm going to say, I don't know you. Who are you? Where did you just come from? Okay. I don't want to know. All right. So you're going to need to focus. There's something about needing to focus. Okay. And it has to do with the career. Okay. So there's something about you could be getting more responsibilities. Or maybe you're getting the responsibilities because you're calm. Because of your calm focus or because you're mature? Okay, so for your finances, there's some financial shifts that could occur early in the week, and you have to pay attention to the intuitive signs regarding your money. What's notable here is that you need to prepare for miscommunications, but also deep emotional clarity. I'm detecting that somebody could come in and you're like, yeah, you need to miss this communication because I'm not communicating with you. All right. I think a lot of people need to keep that in mind. I think, especially with people that could be trying to like have their tantrums or whatever, but it's like, but you're not hearing me. Well, what if I don't want to listen? That could be the issue, right? Okay, you could be focused on other things, Pisces, and just don't have the emotional bandwidth or the real bandwidth to deal with it. Are you getting a lot of downloads about something? I mean, literal downloads on your computer. Upload speed could be downloads. There's lags. I don't know. There's something going on about IT and you. All right. So what's notable here with this miscommunication is that while the miscommunications are a potential, remember that that also means that your emotional clarity could improve. You can manifest love or maybe even inspiration in a creative way that's possible, and that'll be about midweek. You've got Saturn right now for a little bit there in your sign that's strengthening your responsibility. All of this has been about getting you to be more strong. It would be especially difficult for those of you that have had first house Pisces. You're a first house Pisces and you've had to host that there, okay, because that has taught you how to take direction of your life, grab the horse by the reins, literally, to recreate yourself, to become more responsible and more dedicated. For people like me that have in the seventh house, it's been a lot. It was a lot. It was literally teaching me that not everybody who appeared to be Saturnian and real was, that they were illusions, just fluffy clouds with nothing there. And you may have already had to learn all that. So like this little trip with Saturn, it's going to be okay. But this is what has really forged you into an amazing person. All right. So remember to keep focused on the direction that you're going to take. You could be getting more responsibility. Your finances are going to take the focus at the beginning of the week because there's shifts there. You need to pay attention. You're getting intuitive nudges about money, and you're getting them right now, right about now. Okay, so the Mercury Retrograde will be in your sign, and this is where you're going to see an identity review. It's going to reflect on everything that you have become because of this Saturn very specifically. Okay, so whether first house, seventh house, whichever house you're reading for, maybe you're an astrologer and you're just looking at everything and listening to everybody. Okay, so pay attention to Pisces because that's when the Mercury retrograde is going to be. This is going to be the last review before you graduate from this school. School is significant. Somebody could be going back to school. Somebody could have just graduated from school, is about to. 10 of Cups in reverse, because at the beginning of the week, you could find that something that should have been emotionally satisfying for you no longer is, or there's something changing about your emotional satisfaction. 3 of Wands, something could become burdensome. You could really feel, I don't know if it's a relationship or not, sweetheart, but you could really feel with the 7 of Wands that you've just been on the defensive. This could be about a job that's really draining you or has. And we've got the 6 of Swords. Yeah, moving on from something that's probably a job, and I don't see it yet, but I suppose it could be a relationship, maybe for a very young person, or a relationship that is not very established, so that's why it's not really showing up. We have the 7 of Pentacles because you'd rather put energy into something that will be long lasting, something that will yield fruit, something that can multiply for you. And we have the World in reverse. So I think that this is just significant or signifies that ending cycle of Saturn in Pisces, ending with the Mercury in retrograde, reviewing life for you. Have you learned everything you've had to? Because you're about to get your present that Saturn will give you, and Mercury's testing you. And we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. You need to make sure that you're being honest with yourself about what you need to do. I can certainly see that for myself, how that would work, about needing to be honest and not think that I know it all just because I think I do. All right, we have the Knight of Wands, and this is probably a lesson about people that are dishonest coming into your life, that you have to be able to say to yourself, am I really done with the situation? Am I really done with people that have done me dirty, taken dirty action toward me, some people that have been really weird? The lesson there is probably going to pop up for a majority of you because you've gone into, and here on Friday, this is significant. You'll recognize that you've been in the hermit mode. Now on Friday, you could just take time out to take care of yourself because this is a weekly reading, but this is 9 of Cups, so you're definitely going to feel like that it was a wise investment to focus on yourself. And on Friday, because remember, we're coming right off of this. This is the only the second reading for the Lunar New Year, or the first reading into the Lunar New Year for me doing it for you. So you've recognized the value of self-care in every way, physically, emotionally, your health, everything. And on Saturday, we've got the Page of Swords. You could have somebody like try to bring some biting words, somebody coming around again. This could just be communication. It could even be a letter in the mail that is a little bit alarming, but don't worry, because it's balanced out by the sun in reverse, which is fine. That means everything's going to be okay. Just remain sunny side up and don't forget to stay positive, because if not, it's going to cause more problems. So you've got on Sunday the Knight of Swords. That's two swords here next to each other. So the Knight of Swords could be an air sign. Something about an air sign could be significant, not necessarily, but again, we have the communication. But somebody could be dangerous. Be careful with people. If you're riding a motorcycle, I am going to say it because he's not wearing one. Make sure you're wearing a helmet, because if you crash, you know what's going to happen. And it's not that, if you don't care about yourself, remember everybody else is going to suffer because of it. Okay, especially if you don't die, you know what I mean? And you're just kind of, I had a conversation with somebody about this once. I don't know why that's significant, but you might have two daughters, you could have two children, and maybe you ride motorcycles. So we've got the Page of Pentacles. There's lots of news here. So the money news is squeaking in, or it's going to be changing, and this could be about a job. Maybe you don't get the job that you put the application in on, or they say no. Remember that rejection is God's protection, and you need the redirection every single time, because it could be that you could have ended up working with somebody who was maybe younger than you, or just some son of a bitch right here that could have made your life hell. All right, for you, I'm gonna do something here, because you're always so patient, even though you won't feel a thing, because you're going to see this with timestamps. All right, let me clarify with 3 cards what is going on. I've got the Five of Pentacles. You could be feeling the pinch financially. That's what we're doing in the world. And we've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. So, you may have been dealing with somebody, whether it was at work or in a relationship, somebody who manipulated you into a position or kept you at a position for too long, and they weren't telling you that they were like living the good life while you weren't. And we have the King of Cups. Again, we've got that emotional manipulation. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. I saw this in the Aquarius reading. It was coming up there too. Now, this could be a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Doesn't have to be, could just be a drinky. Okay, or this could just be somebody who's like partying too much. So I'm going to clarify this a couple more, because it's making me, some of you could have already ended a relationship, or are ending a rendering. Somebody could be ending or remembering having ended a high level relationship. What high level commitment I mean, like either by marriage or cohabitation and an engagement, something like that. I was going to say an engravement. Somebody could have something engraved. Get rid of that. If that person's no longer in your life, get rid of it, or have the engraving removed. Okay, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So just remember that people from the past are going to try to show up at this time, and it could be somebody that you've already ended a relationship with. It could have been somebody who could have been an air sign that is also a manipulator, because remember, we don't have to just go by what the signs are, but their actions are important. Remember that actions speak louder than words. Okay? Just because, let's say, for example, if somebody never apologized to you for what they did to you with the Five of Pentacles and whatever this is that happened with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and they decide to come and they apologize, well, yeah, you're apologizing, and the action is speaking louder than the words, but those happen to be some words that need to be said, and some conversations that need to take place very close to the original insult or injury. Is it not? All right. Somebody could be going to court over the division of an asset, property, something. There could be an issue there with one of you, but this isn't a whole reading. I'm just trying to get you an object and or omen. Okay, Pisces? I love you guys. You're very sweet, and my energy calms down with you guys. I calm down. All right, let's see. Somebody could be going out tonight. Maybe you're going out tonight. I don't know. Be careful going out tonight. I don't like that night of... If somebody invites you out on a motorcycle tonight, don't go out on the motorcycle tonight. If you ever won't listen to me about something, maybe. How about not tonight? I just don't like it. Too close to the Mercury Retrograde. You don't have to listen to a damn thing I say. All right, not tonight. Not tonight. I don't like it. And if you're going to go on some Tinder date, or this is somebody that you don't know, you young people do crazy shit. I would not do that tonight. How about stay in and paint your toes, honey? All right, we got the snowflake. You are original and you are fragile. And that is a strength. Don't think that because you're different. Pisces is always different. Pisces is always different. Pisces is always fragile in their own way. The strength lies, you know where? Pisces, the strength in you is that you know how to be vulnerable. You know how to be yourself. You've just had to learn who could hold a beautiful snowflake in their hand long enough to appreciate how beautiful it is before it disappears. God bless you all. Have a good night.